you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Filling up with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed. Skipping out, no, I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, magic. No, I'm never letting go. Now that I've been with you, when you kiss me, it's like the stars fall out the sky onto my heart to cover up what I don't wanna show. I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Filling up with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed. Skipping out, no, I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher.
Welcome to Saturday Night Vibe, the progressive news show that just don't give a damn. I am your host, Marlon Clyburn, with Theus Robinson and Tracy Carson of Tracy Carson Media in the house. Today is one of the last two shows of the season. Tomorrow's the last show of the year, taking the next 2 weeks off. So we're going to have some fun. We're going to get rid of some, we're going to get into a situation. Me and Theus was holding a conversation about Ethan Campbell and the defense wanting to move him. We're going to go into more details about that. We're also, can't tell you that one because I can't even tell you a way of saying it without spoiling everything. So I'm not even going to get into that. And we're going to get into Foxy's videos of the week. So without further ado, Theus, what's going on, my man?
Ain't nothing, man. Happy Bueno Fin de Años. I don't know. Happy end of the year, y'all. Hey, we almost there. Almost there.
What's that? Tracy, save us.
I had it in my mind, right? But it didn't come out right. And as I was saying it, I was like, oh, wait a minute. The only statement you really know is end of the week. That's not what you're going for. So I improvised.
Feliz La Vida.
We're not there yet.
Well, like you, Marlon, I'm on a 3-week hiatus because in a couple weeks, I make my 48th journey around that thing called the sun. I'm so excited. 2022 cannot hurry to get here. I got big plans, and I'm just ready to go.
All right, let's see who's in the house already. Woo, just made it. Leave my head down for a minute. Just woke up. Half hour later. LOL. Well, Mickey, I'm glad that you're
Hi,
here.
Mickey.
Hey, Mickey.
Susan, who is
Hey,
always
Susan.
here. Hello,
Hi,
Susan.
Susan.
Oh, that's it for now. So, without further ado, let's get this party started. All right, so this is going to be a little experiment, and hopefully it works because this is exactly what I'm going to use next year. Hopefully, I won't have any internet issues. I actually got me a new computer, and it's a desktop, it's not a laptop.
Oh, fancy.
So I am hardwired into the internet now. So no Wi-Fi. So my wife did a show last night. She didn't have any issues. It's Saturday night, which is normally when we have the internet issues, and I come on every once in a blue moon between freezing and going, thank God for Theas and Tracy to keep carrying on the show while I'm sitting there going in the middle of a sentence. So hopefully everything will be everything will work. Let's just put it that way. Lou. All right, so what we're going to get into is the next chapter, I should say, in the Ethan Campbell school shooting. And this video is just going to give you a short background. And I got a couple of videos that will fill in the gaps. I had to break it down just like that.
So we're not slanderizing the good Campbells of the world.
Yes.
Isn't it Crawley or Crumbly?
Crumbly.
There we go.
Ethan Crumbly.
There we go.
Ooh, not Campbell's.
I was just saying, don't bring Uncle Luke into this. Uncle Luke ain't had nothing to do with this. Uncle Luke ain't in
Crumbly. Them Crumblies. That's who we talk about. Not the Campbells. Y'all good people. Ethan Crumbly. Them Crumblies. And yeah, that's who we talked about. Yeah, Susan. Ethan Crumbly. Them Crumblies.
Well, that was Mickey that said it, but that's
no, we talk about the Crumblies. So let's get into the first video. It's just going to give a short snippet of what we're talking about.
County jail.
If I have to look out for what is best interest, it's not being at the jail. I believe his needs can be met at the village.
That's Children's Village, a juvenile facility in Pontiac that a court-appointed guardian ad litem for Ethan Crumbly argued he should be sent back to Monday in court.
I'm not being humorous when I say this, but he could still at least be in school. I mean, there are things. He is still 15 years of age.
Crumbly held in a small cinder block cell inside of a clinic at the Oakland County Jail away from adult inmates, with checks by corrections officers every 15 minutes, access to only food and mental health care. He didn't know his parents, James and Jennifer Crumbly, were all under the same roof.
I was the one to actually tell him that his parents were in custody at the same jail and that they were charged. He doesn't have access to a television or any type of media device. So he was not aware until I told him.
Paulette Michelle Lofton is Crumbly's court-appointed attorney.
And I really can't say what he's voiced to me because of the attorney-client privilege, but I am sure a 15-year-old who's never been in trouble before is probably a little bit fearful for his current surroundings.
Oakland County Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Mark Keast adamantly against returning Crumbly to Children's Village, citing an imminent danger to other kids there.
I can't imagine a situation where we could put this defendant in a school environment after what he did on November the 30th.
Ooh. Never mind. I'll wait.
Go ahead.
I just want to call BS on the guy who spoke last, because my issue with all of this is way beyond the monster Ethan. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
To call a juvenile prison a school environment is laughable on its face. That was him just saying that to move his point along. Just at that part. I mean, I know y'all gonna talk about the other stuff, but that right there, I'm like, dude, for real? That's what you had?
Come on. Kind of catch that.
Like,
and I guess he was trying to
He was trying to draw a line
juvenile
between
system
what he
has
did
a
and
school in it, and he's trying to make it as is the juvenile system is a school.
yeah, he's saying he killed
That's
children.
it.
Don't put him around other children. That's what he's
Yeah.
trying to say. But I'm like, let's not pretend that the prison that the kids are in is anything other than a prison.
Yeah, with a school, not a school
with a
prison.
curriculum. There ain't no school in there.
Yeah,
It's a curriculum.
So we're
You
gonna
know?
get into deeper background, and so this is so the background is the defense is trying to move Ethan to a juvenile center that has a school in it to basically get him out of adult jail. At least that's what I thought was the reason. But the more, and I'll tell you later at the end what it really sounds like to me personally. But for right now, this is the defense argument to getting Ethan out of adult jail.
And Your Honor, I can speak to that as well if before Mr. Keast has an opportunity to respond, Your Honor. I watched the arraignment, and I understand that Mr. Keast made the argument at that time pursuant to MCR 6.909. And after reviewing that statute, Your Honor, I honestly do not believe that my client should be considered a menace to other juveniles. This is someone who has never been in trouble before. This is not someone who has a history of assaulting kids his age or any other negative contact with his peers. This one isolated incident is all that we're looking at here today. And also, I'd like to speak to the fact that there are other juveniles housed at Children's Village charged with murder. This would not be the first time. There's others there now. So I definitely believe that society is protected, as well as the other juveniles at Children's Village, if he was to be returned to Children's Village. And again, I also spoke with my client and agree with Ms. McKelvey. He's being housed in the clinic. The clinic is still being used for adults that have medical ailments and medical issues. So there are adult inmates that are housed around him. And if you look at the specific language of the statute, I believe that we are violating that statute.
Thank you. Mr. Keast?
So before we get to Mr. Keith, who is the prosecutor in it, so they are exercising a code, meaning Ethan should be utterly and completely removed from adult population in the jail. Which it sounds like what they're saying is, yeah, Ethan can't see other adults, other prisoners, I should say, in the jail, but he can hear them. So that is their argument for moving. Where the hell the school, that was my issue. Where the hell the school thing came from and he needed to be moved so he could go to school? I have no idea. That seemed like they just came from out of the blue all of a sudden, because that's what it started off with. They want to put him back in school, and then I'm listening to the argument. It's like, yeah, you ain't giving a damn about him going to school. You just
all I know is that kid is going away forever. But his lawyer,
public defender,
right? But she's still a lawyer.
Well, she's still a lawyer.
Still a lawyer. Her argument, I'm laughing because half of it was stupid and the other half made sense. Or at least the other half I kind of agree with. To say that it was an isolated event and he had no history of harming other adolescents before this event.
Yeah, he didn't kill anybody else. What?
I'm like, this is first time killing people. That's
you don't have a track record of doing this.
Yeah, this is his first
time
killing.
Yo, come on.
Like, why don't she just admit he's guilty? Just say he's guilty.
What kid doesn't kill kids, right? So you had, like, that part was just stupid. But then the second part I do agree with, which was he's being housed in an adult facility. And even though you say he's sequestered from the adults, he's in an adult facility. So things happen and things get missed. And all it takes is a few seconds for one of them grown people to get hold of him. Okay. So That part I agree with because I'm looking past him.
Yep.
I'm looking at every juvenile offender, which disproportionately doesn't mean they actually did anything, doesn't mean that the punishment they're getting is actually commensurate with what they did, but disproportionately, it's minority children who end up in these situations. And I don't want them housed with 30 and 40-year-old mass murdering offenders, no matter what they did. I'm like, for Ethan, he should be charged as an adult. I'm good with that because that was mass murder, dude. All right. But then remember, one, he hasn't been convicted of anything yet. Two, he is 15. So you lock him up in the juvenile center with the other people who have also been convicted of murder or charged with murder, right? Because you can't say we don't have them. We do. And then when he turns 18, you move him to the adult facility. How is that hard? What part of that I don't get unless you're looking for the American way, which is making an example out of people and vengeance and whatever they want to call it.
Yeah, and see, that's where I fall at. Because I feel, well, I'm about to say something people are not going to like, but I feel 50-50 about this. Part of me says there's no way he shouldn't be in adult jail. He's a child. But then, unfortunately, because of the environment I'm in, part of me thinks, well, he committed an adult crime. He should be housed with adults because he chose to commit an adult crime. I know I shouldn't feel like that way because that's the wrong view. But I can't help feeling that way because I feel like if he were put in a school environment like his attorney is talking about, who's to say he won't harm those children?
First of all, you put him in there with them other kids, he'll get a rude awakening into what it is to be around tough kids. Okay? This man committed a cowardly crime.
I agree.
He was the only one with a gun, and he preyed on innocent victims who were unarmed and unaware. He's a coward. All right? Doesn't make him not a killer, does not make him not dangerous. But remember what we're dealing with. He ain't the kid who was raised up to kill, right? So put him in. He think he's tough. All right, you'll find out if you're tough. But first of all, he's charged with mass murder. So if you think he's ever gonna see another kid while he's in the juvenile center, you got something else coming.
Yeah, and I'm not familiar with the juvenile center.
He ain't having no homeboys and hangovers. There ain't gonna be no sleepovers and all that stuff. He's going to prison. But what would be the case for putting him in an adult prison? And then my challenge is, why do you really want to see him there?
Yeah, and see, that's what I'm struggling with. That's what I'm struggling with on a personal level, because as much as I believe in redemption, and I do, I believe in redemption, I absolutely do. But then my non-Christian side says, hey, he killed some people. You know what? Fire up that chair and let it go. But that's not going to bring back anybody that he's killed.
But that's not putting him in the chair. That's not giving him lethal injection.
No,
that's not killing him off. That's putting him in an adult prison. So now we have to follow that thought through. So if we put him in an adult prison, we're saying that no, he did an adult crime. Yes. Put him in there with the big boy since he thinks he's a big boy. And then whatever happens to him because he thought he was a big boy. Well, now we have to follow that thread. And what are you not you, Tracy, but what are you really saying? What you're saying is you don't care if he gets raped. You don't care if he gets stabbed. Yeah, you don't care if he gets killed. You think whatever happens is what he has coming to him. And now I say you take that to the next level and you have to ask yourself, what is it about you that thinks it's okay for those things to even be happening in the first place for someone who has committed a crime under our system and put in prison? See, I'm like way past Ethan.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I'm like, oh, I can't deny that part of me thinks he's right where he should be. He's right where he should be. And I know, like I said, and I know that's the wrong way to think about it because he's still
if it's
a
how
child.
You feel, it's how you feel. What I'm saying is people need to challenge why they feel that way.
Yeah, why Yeah, why is it
Own the
that I'm
fact that
thinking that?
what people want is revenge and they have a bloodlust. And these are very well, you will find the same people who will preach forgiveness and all this other stuff the next day. But for this crime,
Yeah,
throw it all out and let's try them in the middle of the street. Well, why don't we do that for adulterers? Why don't we do that for pedophiles? Why don't we do that? You see what I'm saying? It's like, it's easy to fixate on this kid. Or
Yeah.
he's a kid. It's easy to fixate on this kid. But I'm saying there are other kids who are being wrapped up in this same thing that no one's thinking about.
Yeah, we're not thinking of the little black boy that's been in juvenile system since he was what, 9 or 10.
We're not even thinking about the little black boy who's 14, 15 years old sitting in an adult prison right now. Ain't nobody thinking about him. They're only thinking about Ethan. And Ethan is a little white boy, so it ends up drawing some more attention. But what about the little black boy, the little Latino boy who did a similar crime? He didn't kill 4 people, he killed 1 person, but he's still a killer. And they put him in adult prison and just forgot about him. And all the things that happened to him, I guess it's okay. It just happens to him.
Yeah, he should.
What kind of society are we?
I know, and I know every point you're making is, I agree, but I'm like, well, how did I feel? What's making me think that? What is it at the root of it?
Because we have a bloodthirsty culture, but people don't want to own it.
Yep. So, and don't worry, people. They're not talking over me. I'm reserving the final say so. That's why I'm just keeping quiet and speaking. Because I have a theory. That's all I ever have really is a theory. I have a theory. So before I even get into it, let's look at what the prosecutor's argument is and the verdict from the judge.
Thank you. Mr. Keys?
Thank you, Judge. Judge, this cannot be compared to any other case that this court or any court in this county has seen before. And calling this an isolated incident, quite frankly, does not do it justice. This was a mass murder at a school, Judge. This was planned. It was premeditated. The evidence that we have and that we discussed at the arraignment showed it was premeditated for a period of time before it was commenced. The defendant didn't just attack other individuals. He targeted juveniles. This defendant fits MCR 6.909 to the T. This court has already made a ruling that the presumption is great that the juvenile committed the offense and the juvenile's charged with first-degree murder. This court already made the ruling that this court could move the defendant from the Children's Village to the Oakland County Jail. I've spoken with Captain Thomas Vita of the Oakland County Jail. He has provided me with watch sheets. This defendant is monitored every 15 minutes. His food intake is monitored. His weight is monitored. He has access to mental health care should he choose. He has access to medical care should he choose. If counsel is prepared to put such facts on the record regarding the Oakland County Jail's inability to house this defendant, I would ask for a written motion. And I would also ask this court to review in camera the Oxford High School video that does in fact prove beyond any doubt that this defendant is the individual who perpetrated this offense on other children, Judge. Children's Village is not a secure facility. They have had escapes in the past, in the recent past. I can't imagine a situation where we could put this defendant in a school environment after what he did on November the 30th, Judge. So if we are going to readdress this ruling from this honorable court, I would ask it be by written motion. I would ask the opportunity for this court to review certain items in camera. Thank you.
Thank you. The court rule that is being addressed is MCR 6.909, which is the place of confinement for the juveniles, and allows the court for a juvenile confined in a jail or similar facility designed and used to incarcerate adult prisoners upon a showing that the juvenile's habits or conduct are considered a menace to other juveniles. While I did make a ruling prior, I still feel strongly about that his conduct could be a menace to other juveniles. I think his placement is appropriate in the adult facility, specifically the Oakland County Jail. And he, of course, shall be confined and meet the statutory guidelines when a juvenile is in that facility. So the only thing I'm hearing right now that may potentially be a violation is that he can hear other inmates who are adults. Is that correct, Ms. McKelvey?
Yes, Your Honor, that's my understanding.
Okay.
Judge, I will speak. I'm sorry, I did not mean to interrupt, Judge. I will speak personally with administration at the Oakland County Jail as soon as we end this call, and I will make sure that the defendant is neither within sight nor sound of any adult at the jail.
Thank you. Obviously, we need to be compliant with the statutes, and if that is it is obviously a concern, and thank you for addressing that.
Thank you.
Anything further?
So there's the prosecutor's argument. Obviously, he won the argument. Ethan will not be removed. They, however, are going to look into the fact that although he can't see adult prisoners, he can still hear them, and they're going to address that. How, I have absolutely no idea how that's going to be fixed at all. But before I give my statement, and before Theus pass out, go ahead, Theus.
No, I mean, I just had my little tirade, but it's just one of those things, you know. I cannot stand hypocrisy, and I cannot stand people who don't own what they truly mean, and so it just is keeping him in the and once again, I don't care about this kid, right? But I am all about, if this kid was somebody else, what would they be doing to him? And so if you put him in an adult, so basically the crux of this is, do we keep him in the juvenile center? No, do we keep him in the adult clinic area, which is where they keep pedophiles and those who have been targeted for retribution or violence within the jail? That's what they use the medical wards for, okay? For those who don't know. Now, they're saying, okay, well, what we'll do then is we'll move him even further into the corner so he can't even hear anybody. At what point are you really just avoiding saying what you're really after? Because how is that easier than locking his butt up in a juvenile facility in a secured room, and you still check on him every 15 minutes? But now you have staff and you have correctional officers who are actually experienced with dealing with juveniles watching him versus adult correctional officer trained people watching him. I just don't get it. And so that's where my rub is. What is the real reason that people want him in the adult facility?
Well, I said it myself. It's we want to see. Unfortunately, you're right. We live in a bloodthirsty society. We want to see someone that
we want to see him get his.
Yeah, we want to see exactly. And that feeling, because people hear about, we hear about crime at such a, such a arrogant way. It's like, okay, he's got to pay. He's got to pay. Then let's forget that we bypass all the people that should be in prison. Let's forget about the fact that we have black children in, like you said, we have black children in adult facilities now, but we just want to see someone pay for what they did. And that's a hard thing to say, but it's a true thing to say. It's like people want to see it.
It's the truth. And that's when it's funny, because people like me who do not subscribe to any religious doxology are sitting here looking at the people who want to see him get his.
I know, and that's not the right. No, it's not.
And I'm sitting here like, yo, for real. If you believe that your God is a God of mercy, justice, and balance, then you already know that his fate is sealed, and whatever is dictated will occur.
And so I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing with.
I'm not talking about you.
I know, but what I'm saying is, because like I said, there's a part of me that feels like, yeah, he's right where he needs to be. But what does that accomplish?
But it brings us into the larger discussion, because this one is one of those things we can all agree on, right? We can all agree that this person killed children.
Yeah, and that's what it is. It's when you kill even though he's a child himself, he
Right.
killed 4
So
people that did not deserve to die.
exactly. So he becomes an easy fixture and a throwaway situation because now we know his parents are trash too. So it's just the perfect little package to take out all of our frustration and our
And that won't
angst
solve
on
the problem with keeping him in adult prison because there's other. Yep. Okay,
it.
I see
Doesn't
where you're
solve
going.
anything.
Yeah,
And
you're in the right phase, but
you
I
know,
got to get to where you're at because I'm like, no, get him. But
oh,
then,
where I'm coming from is not magnanimous at all. You
Okay,
know what I'm saying?
let me say this real quick because I heard both arguments, and what I'm about to say, because I had to think about it. What I'm about to say is either going to be A, problematic, B, Marlon, you done lost your damn mind, or C, damn, I never thought of that. So here we go. This whole situation has nothing to do with Ethan. None of it. The decision of where to put him and all that had nothing to do with Ethan. This has everything to do with yet another school shooting. This is no more than the prosecution and the attorney general taking a shot across the bow for any other child who has this fixation and this fantasizing of going into a school and shooting it up because they didn't get the video game that they wanted. It's a male ego, whatever the excuse is. This is the shot across the bow to any other kid who decides to do this to go. You decide to kill other kids in your school ever again. This is the treatment that you're going to get. So we're arguing the fact of is it right or wrong? That is an entirely separate argument. This is me saying it has nothing to do with Ethan. It could have been anybody else. We have had way too many shootings of whatever. This happens to be the school shooting. But we done had school shootings. We done had mall shootings. We done had store shootings, either by adults or by children. And when it comes to having children, we all of a sudden go, but that's a child. We got to treat them as a child who did a school shooting. And this general attorney went, no, not anymore. You gonna go in there, you're gonna shoot up a school, you're gonna take a lot. You, as a kid, gets to live. And that's the funny thing about it is we got to keep in mind, Ethan going to spend the rest of his life in jail. There are 4 kids who don't have their life anymore.
right.
So I'm not feeling sorry for Ethan on wherever. That's an entirely different argument. But there are 4 kids who never going to see their parents again, never going to school again, never going to be around their friends and family again. It is a done deal. That's what Attorney General is going for. You took a life, and we going to start treating you like that. Is it evil, cruel, menacing, and everything else? Probably so. And there's a lot of people who are sick and tired of seeing it being done and being, but we're going to treat it like kid gloves, and we're going to be sweet, and we're going to be nice, and we're going to... No, not anymore.
But see,
like I said, that's an entirely different argument of thing. But it is a shot across the bow of saying, from this point on, you're going to be treated like crap.
But here's the thing. Consequence does not work in deferring these actions. The real way that you reduce these types of situations is gun control on every level, but we don't want to do that. So we'll make an example out of this kid. Within 2 months of him being sentenced, no one will think of this little monster ever again. And the person who takes up a weapon and decides to go and kill someone wherever they decide to do it, whether it be a school shooting, an office shooting, or wherever it may be, they're going to do it for their own reasons. And the consequences be damned. And that's always been the case. So you can sit there and say that if you do this, we're going to treat you like an adult. They don't care, because when they reach that particular point, they don't even value their own life. So more often than not, they kill themselves when the police show up. So that just doesn't hold up. All it does is satisfy the social bloodlust that says somebody needs to pay. But we need to look at who does the paying. I want this stuff to stop. And the way that you stop this is you make it stricter on the guns. See, everybody wants to say, those who are on this particular side of the argument, that guns don't kill people, people kill people, right?
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm a gun owner. And yeah, no duh. It takes a person to pull the trigger, to aim and pull the trigger. But you know what? It's funny. If you go to all these different crime scenes, the gun keeps being there. So how about this? You can either try to control a human being that is law-abiding on Monday and a criminal on Tuesday, or you can try to control an inanimate object that we produce that is killing people, not just in America, not just in our schools, but also we're exporting massive numbers of weapons across the border to feed the drug war so we can keep taking the drugs that we want to take over here. So it's like they got to miss me with this, bro, because I'm looking at all the little kids that are being raised up in the gang culture or the drug culture who are being wrapped up in the same stuff. And I'm one of those people who say, once you do the crime, man, bro, for real, my patience ain't here. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got a whole lot of compassion for you. So this isn't about compassion for Ethan. This is about holding our system accountable for what the hell are we actually after here.
Well,
making an example out of him means nothing.
The only pushback that I have of what you said is when you say they get to a point where if they have gotten to that point, they wind up killing themselves. I have yet to see that lately.
Not lately.
I have seen a whole bunch of people who remember a long time ago, and I can't get the verbiage. I just remember the story because even to this day, it kind of pisses me off.
Plus, they take white kids alive, so always remember.
Yeah, because the police not shooting him. Blanket period.
Well, remember the story about the guy who burned down the grandmother's house, not his grandmother. Burned down another house that had a grandmother in there. And why did you do that? Because
a woman who did that.
Pissed me off and everything. And that woman asked so good of a question that she got ridiculed for it. If you was mad at your mama, why didn't you kill your mama? Why you go kill somebody else? I have yet to see this happen anymore these days.
But see, the thing is, we keep
mad at somebody else, and I know I made a joke about it, but let's be realistic. It has happened. I didn't get the video game that I wanted. You said no to me at the wrong time.
Yeah.
I didn't go on the date that I wanted to go to, even though I get
woe is me, I'm gonna snap and hurt everybody thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but you see, that person the day before was normal.
And we refuse to do the background checks necessary. When you were talking about this gun control, we can't even this whole mess with Ethan and all these other people who commit crimes, like it's never gonna change because we have that little nice organization called the NRA that just permeates against even the basic having a gun class that's required before you even own a gun. And
I'll take it further though, Tracy. America doesn't want to do anything. We have to stop scapegoating NRA. Whatever America wants to get done, America gets done.
No, because we're too busy. We're wanting to blame the blacks and the Latinos for every little bit of crime that goes around. And it's like, okay,
we'll blame.
And this is the thing, though. I always say this. I don't want we don't need any more gun laws. We need to enforce the laws that we have on the freaking books now.
Which ones are those? Though?
Which ones are those? Because
Period. It doesn't take one.
No, I mean, no, because
but
every state gets to make their own laws.
Every state has different laws.
But none of them get followed. They can have, in other words, they can have a law on the books that say you can get your license, and then it takes 48 hours before you can get your gun. Says who?
But
right, because
they already hold it. By the way, they already held the gun before they got the license.
But Marlon, I'll give you this example because I live in Indiana, a state that practically is like mini Texas. You can almost be 17 and just go out and buy a gun. No background checks, no anything. Illinois, the state to the west of me, has background checks. They have testing. So you know what some people who want guns do in Illinois? They come straight to Indiana where there's no background check. There's no anything. And they just buy all the guns that they want and they take them right back to Illinois.
Even worse, they're not even coming to Indiana. Indiana's coming to them. See, this whole thing works in both directions so that this continues to get fueled. So when I talk about gun control, no, we do need more laws because we need to get to the level of distribution. There's no way that a gun manufacturer should be making guns on the daily like they're loaves of bread, okay? Because if you hold the manufacturer, if you create a chain of custody, this is so simple. You create a chain of custody where the last point of documented custody is the one who holds the bag for any crime that's committed with that gun. You change a lot of things. See, why are there so many guns? We call them like ghost guns and illicit guns and stuff like that. But the manufacturer created these things. They put a serial number on these things, and then they sold them to a distributor. But somewhere between the manufacturer and the distributor, certain guns get lost. Then from the distributor to the actual sales channel, more get lost. You clamp down on that. On top of that, you make it federal as far as that's concerned. And you make people like me who own guns say, hey, if you want to have a gun, it's just like having a car. You got to register.
And you have to have insurance on it.
And you got to have liability insurance.
Yeah. I 1000% agree with you. But the average gun-toting Second Amendment rights Republican is going to be against that because it makes too much sense what you're saying.
You would be surprised because even though we don't all agree, like everybody ain't as far out there to the quote unquote left as I am on it, most gun owners are tired of us being scapegoated for everything that happens with guns out there, and we want less of them out there. So there are a lot of things that on a human level, across party divides, people agree on. The problem is our representative, the government, does not represent us.
Well, we know that.
So what the population wants and what the legislators want, two different things.
Yeah, because like you said, at least a national registry of all guns.
Whoa.
You're
Joy!
Hey,
Joy!
Joy! Oh, you made our day!
The person I never met and missed so much.
I know!
I talked to her yesterday. Joy finally got out from under that wrapping paper she been doing. Welcome, Joy.
So nice.
Joy.
That made my whole day. Thank you, Joy.
Not that the rest of you guys are not. I thank you each time because I love it.
Yeah, the rest of y'all too. Yeah.
But I see y'all all the time. But Joy,
we haven't seen Joy in a minute. We're like, who? What?
Yeah, but my thing is coming back full circle with the Ethan Crumbly and all that stuff is it's always about what is it that you actually want. And I'm going to point my finger at hypocrisy each and every time because the same people talking about Second Amendment rights and the same people talking about not you take my guns over my dead cold hands or whatever those thing they say. And the same people talking about, an eye for an eye and the blah, 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 blah. Exact same people who on another day will tell me not to protest. not to burn down the Walgreens, not to charge up the steps at the Capitol, not to see what I'm saying. So it's
Yeah,
like,
but I'll say
y'all
this
can miss
though.
me with that.
Is your least favorite president and mine said this, and he was right. I don't know why he took back the statement. He said there are two things that Americans love: their religion and their guns. Why he took back a statement that's completely true, I don't know.
Because of the political fallback, when the majority of the people who run this country don't look like him.
Yeah, but that was a true. I'm like, that's the truest statement he ever said. I'm like, that's true right there.
The Bible Belt has the most guns in the entire country. I'm like, come on. That's why I don't listen. I mean, never mind. Don't get me down that one. But yeah.
But that was a true statement he said.
Yep. Main people killing people. The states that are quick to kill you, quick to send you to war, and are the same states that will sit there and say, "Oh, with abortion bad."
Yeah, it's an evil. How dare you taking a life?
They're the same people over there chatting, "Let's go Biden." Anyway.
Don't get me started on that mess. Why don't you just say what you want to? Just say
well, that would be impolite.
because Republicans don't know humor. They actually think sneaking stuff like I can say fuck Biden. I've said it before when he sit there saying that he's not going to cancel student loans. Fuck you, Biden. But I ain't got to make up. Let's go, Brandon. Look, I'm trying to be funny.
I'm not cursing. Do you hear me?
Hey, don't make fun of us people that don't curse.
I'm going to make fun of the people who don't curse.
No, I'm not
advocate for violence.
That don't curse.
Those are the ones I'm going to make fun of.
Coming up with
because some of us don't cuss. We just don't do it.
But you know, it's funny. It's like, what's that old saying? They were like, down south, they'll kill. They might hang you, but they'll do it with a smile. Yeah. So, you know, all the little mannerisms and all that stuff, y'all can miss me with all of that if what your actions are is bloodthirsty and
you're just not funny.
Let's go, Brandon. Come on, man. That's the best you got.
Sorry, but let's just. You're not funny.
Just say you're not. If you're just gonna do it,
you're not funny. You're not. The funniest thing I heard is you try to put a comedy show on Fox News. Why?
Well, you know, they did have one. There was one thing. Tim Allen had a TV show.
Standing Still.
No, Last Man Standing.
Last Man Standing. Garbage.
That is definitely a conservative.
Yes.
Comedy. I actually kind of enjoyed it, but he's Tim Allen, so he has a way of and there are certain times it was cringeworthy, but
like 99% of the time.
Yeah, it was pretty cringeworthy. Yeah.
All right, let's get to the last story before I break, and I'm going to show you the video, and you're going to look at me like I'm crazy, but you understand that you should know there's always a reason why I show something.
Better not be that toddler.
I still don't know why y'all don't dislike her.
That ain't never going on this show. But here's the funny thing about it, though. Here's the funny thing here's the twist. I'm going to let Tracy have the first comment. Here we go.
Oh, no, it's got to be bad. But I'm getting the first comment?
Yep.
Okay, from what I saw, that was MMA, which I basically call an excuse for two men to get on a mat and hump each other for about half an hour. It's fake boxing. I don't get it, and I don't like it. That's pretty much, I'm like, okay. And they were out of shape and had no business with their shirts off. Like, really, if you're going to go shirtless in public, man, please have the body to do it. That's all I'm asking. Right there.
Mickey already got it. Those two guys was Brazilian politicians.
What? See, why you should have just said, "Oh, these are politicians."
Okay, what
That could
happened
never
was-
happen in America. There's somebody
It
break a
should.
hip.
Just
Somebody
let him
break
go
a
in
hip.
there and box it.
It should. It should.
You can't have two 80-year-old men fighting.
Oh God.
Because you know
Put
what?
it on pay-per-view. We will clean up the deficit.
You know what though?
with them off.
Let me tell you guys a quick story though. In the summer, there was an incident at the Indiana State Legislature where they had to be separated because they were about to come to fist fight. I mean, it was like
they fight.
no, I'm talking about they was like you want to come up and get me? I'm like, wait a minute, y'all got to stop. Y'all supposed to be legislators. Y'all can't be out here.
I have seen some fights in politics where it's like, they send me the videos. It's like, oh, they get into an argument. I'm like, yeah, I've seen arguments before. And then it goes from they're yelling and screaming at each other, like screaming. I'm like, okay, I'm not used to this. The next thing I know, somebody took off their shoes and throwing it across the aisle and hitting people. I'm like, what the? Wait.
I don't want to see people fight. I'm sorry. I don't want to see Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden go at it in a ring. I don't want to see it.
You won't.
So first of all, the Republicans are a lot younger on average than the Democrats.
Yeah, that's
so if
true.
You want to see them take over some stuff? They will run a table. But then the other thing is, that's one of the reasons why a person like myself would never really be in Congress. Because while I have more control than your random person who is emotionally driven, I ain't got that much control. So I am the one that if I take offense to something you said, I'm going to call you on it.
Wait a minute. Hold on, Theus. No, you didn't, Mickey. Don't nobody need to mention. I just ate. I literally just ate. And now my food going to go up. I want to thank you, Mickey.
No.
I'm going to pay you back for that one.
No one needs to see middies on the TV.
Nobody needs to see that, bro.
No.
That's the mean of take it outside. Yeah.
No,
take it outside. Don't take it nowhere. Put a shirt on. Ooh.
But anyway, the backstory of it is one is a mayor, one is a former councilman. I didn't even know it's different. The councilman is upset with the mayor who near his town is a water park that I guess is decimated now. He didn't keep up with the upkeeps of the water park and challenged the mayor to a fist fight. Mm-hmm. And the mayor accepted. Now, the good thing about it, all of this, the good thing about it is we still have a decent amount of integrity going on because a lot of people jumped on the mayor saying, dude, we didn't elect you to get into fit fights. This is not what you do as a elected politician. Unfortunately, you're elected the wrong one because we're gonna keep it. It's gonna be sanctioned and it's gonna be civilized and civilized. It's gonna be, it's gonna be organized correctly. Thus, we got to this in a page, and the mayor won. That's whose hand was raised. The mayor won,
even though it looked like he got beat from the clip. But that's
like I said, MMA is cheap boxing. It's cheap.
Now, MMA is actually I think it's mixed martial arts, right? But it's street fighting. I call it
fake boxing,
human cockfighting, right? You're literally just putting two pit bulls in a ring and letting them go at it. And but
it's gotten a lot. I was there when they first started doing MMA. Well, not MMA, UFC. When they used to put it on pay-per-view and it was human cockfighting. I remember the beginning of it. It is. It Tracy, you hope for the days where all they doing is hugging each other. Because back the other day when they're kicking somebody's teeth out their mouth and choking them and the referee is literally waiting for the guy to pass out before he calls the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gotten a whole lot better.
But them two men didn't have no business with their shirts off.
No,
I'm like,
absolutely not.
but
They
But
had
on
no
the one
business fighting.
hand, on
They
the
had
one
business
hand,
fighting over a water park.
you got two dad bods going at it. Cool. Much power to the dad bods of America, but or Brazil. But my thing is like for real. I'm putting myself into like those shoes, and I am the kind of person that I'm gonna let you get away with saying some slick stuff a couple times, but eventually, for real, I mean, I don't care if I'm suit and tie down. You're gonna stand for what you just said to me. So let's go ahead and handle this right now. Otherwise, you learn how to hold your tongue when you're in my presence. And that's just what it is. So for me, that is perfect for me because you don't need to be running your mouth reckless at me.
When Joe Biden was challenging one of his people at a
He was challenging
rally,
Trump to a fight.
No, he was challenging this clip I'm talking about. He was challenging someone asked him a question.
Yes,
and he challenged him to push-ups. You mean to tell me you're gonna say, "Hey Joe, we go right now," and you start going?
Yeah, I mean, push-ups is juvenile to me. But the part about what
exactly does that prove?
It just shows, it's that machismo, old school.
Yeah, man got that.
That's that 1940s tough guy talk.
That's what I'm saying. So you can do more push-ups than me. That don't mean you can throw hands. That means you can do more push-ups than me.
But that was a non-violent way of showing male.
But Trump did the same thing, and then the same crowd that was for Biden, he should never have did that. I'm like, neither one of them could last 20 seconds in a fight. Let's just be serious.
Well, they could last a long time against each other.
Let's be realistic about something. Between Trump and Biden, who do you think actually has?
Well, Biden's got the better chance because he's younger.
No, not each other. In their lifetime, who do you actually think has been in a real fight?
Biden.
I don't. You mean a fist fight?
Yes.
Oh, well, yeah, okay.
Trump has had a silver spoon up his butt his whole life.
Yeah, I'm like, if you mean a fist fight, okay, yeah, I would say Biden.
Trump ain't.
That's why he talks all that talk.
Wrestling matches. Yeah, the Greek culture back in the Greek days, yeah.
But no, I'm with Susan because I'm like, look, for real, and I know this makes you sound like a dinosaur. I get that. But if you gonna run your mouth at me, man to man, square up.
Okay, but now let me ask you this question. Can I ask this question? Was a woman?
I'm not gonna fight a woman.
But what if she gets in your face and starts running her mouth?
I'm still not gonna fight a woman.
Okay, I'm understanding, but how you gonna handle her?
I'm walking away.
Yeah, I'm either gonna walk away or I'm gonna look at her like she's crazy. See, this is
and I got a wife for that. I ain't got to worry about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna get judged for what I'm about to say. But
I ain't got to worry about that
because I didn't finish my drink. So I'm gonna say it. There's no way that I'm ever gonna fight a woman unless she has a weapon and can actually cause me serious harm. And then it's only gonna be to the point of being able to stop the threat. It's just that simple. I don't fight with women. I also do not argue with women. You can ask my wife. We can have a back and forth because that's human. That's what relationships do. But I'm not going to argue with you because I came up in a time frame that where if you're getting into an argument with someone, especially from a male standpoint, eventually it's going to get physical. And it's because we know as men that the longer we go back and forth, one of us is going to say something that we got to stand for. That's why a lot of male interactions don't end up in fights. Because eventually one of us is going to be like, I know where this is going. I'm going to bow out gracefully or I'm going to give him an out so that we don't have to fight.
And that did not...
argument with my wife and we've never gotten physical.
Exactly. But my point is, I don't argue with women because there is no end point. See, that's what my wife is for. My wife will sit there and argue with you. If you want to argue, do that with her.
It's almost been a full year with Tracy. We ain't want a damn argument.
You know what? You not go win one. Now,
when it comes to me and a woman, and it's like, and it gets that heated where there's actually an argument going on, I will almost always bow out or just let it go. I don't have to win the argument. I just need to make my point clear because I know it can never reach that point that like when me and Marlon have a disagreement, there's a point that me and Marlon knows, all right, there's a red line coming up. But there's no such thing as that with me and you, Tracy. So what would I get out of sitting here going back and forth with you? Absolutely nothing. Either one of us is going to hurt one of our feelings or something's going to be terrible. So why bother? Just let it go.
But do we have to, and we're going to go to break in a few minutes. But would that be women, men, or in general? Because we already said we'd have gotten to the point where we're just not going to argue anymore with people who
because
it's not worth arguing with anymore.
Yeah, because I'm thinking of the situation that happened in Indiana. That man was definitely in that woman's face. And I'm like, dude, you supposed to know a little bit better. And she was an older woman. I'm like, no, you done really broke two of my commandments right there.
First of all men don't act like men.
Well, that's
Absolutely
true too.
Not.
But he was of the male, I'll say it this way, he was of the male gender.
I agree.
He was a male.
And there's a whole different, like this current crop of men that are like 35 and under. That's a whole new monster. I don't know what those guys were raised up on. They all lost in their feelings and want to, anyway.
But they want to pick on you about getting into yours.
Right. But see, once again, if a man want to go there, there's a red line.
But I'm going to give you guys one sample. What if a Marjorie Taylor Greene decides, you know what, I'm just going to annoy him?
I can pick on Marjorie.
I can walk away from
You know
her.
what? Here's the deal.
Or I'll break her down and make her cry.
For real. Marjorie Taylor Greene gets away with it because nobody knows how to do the dozens anymore. Marjorie is not going to argue with somebody.
I think like some people do know how to do the dozens and they just don't want to.
Marjorie would never argue with me and Thea's. Period.
No,
well,
she wouldn't
argue with me because I'd be like, girl, sit down somewhere.
It is so short of a fight. It would not be funny. I guarantee you, give me 2 minutes and Marjorie will be just like that video where she's running to the van to jump in and get the hell up out of Dodge.
Not only that, but there's no win in me as a black man arguing with a white woman.
I'm getting enjoyment out of it, embarrassing her. I will get a win out of this one. I know ain't nobody gonna care and they gonna
because the way she got in,
this is gonna be pure enjoyment on my behalf to embarrass Marjorie Taylor Greene in front of everybody.
Because
I know the opposite end of Fox gonna go, oh, it's the black man's fault, and everybody, oh, well, I'm gonna try to go after you because you jumped on. I don't care. The issue of embarrassing people like Marjorie Taylor Greene in public is just my enjoyment personally.
No, I get that.
But see, I think about the way she embarrassed, like she tried to embarrass AOC and she tried to embarrass Cori Bush. They just ignored her.
Bullies know how to choose their target.
They do. And I would say she gonna come across the wrong one. That's all I'm saying. She gonna come up with somebody that gets in her face and we gonna see all them little crocodile tears. I'm the victim. But I'll shut up.
I'm not 100% following Mickey, but I do respect that you don't agree with me. I mean, that's cool. I mean, my view is probably very much I'm
trying to get this.
What you call it?
Not the larger view. Age group may make you automatically wrong at least some of the time.
Yeah, Mickey, you might have to explain because I'm missing that too.
Yeah, you may have to explain.
Yeah, because I'm like,
if
I ain't
I'm following, it's because I made a broad statement in that I do not argue with women. Like I put everybody in this big bucket. I put all men in one bucket. I put all women in one bucket. And then I said how I react to different things. And I can understand, if I'm understanding the pushback, I can get that. But no, it's just my thing. I just don't.
Now, Mickey, let me say this real quick. I will not get into Marjorie Greene's face.
No.
What I'm getting at is
if she starts on.
This is just an example. When the Democrats, and I can't remember who was all on the steps, and Marjorie Greene came down.
Oh, yeah, she did. Yeah, she did.
Yes, I am going to say something back to you. No, I'm not going to run Marjorie Taylor Greene down and get it. I'm not.
And they got to, if they did, they had enough respect her and get a woman to challenge her.
She's not going to win it this time.
Yes, you will.
No, she
Oh, and also, okay, Mickey, I pick up
absolutely
on that too. I
not.
say young men today. So, just for a little bit of background for everybody, I really don't, and I don't mean any disrespect when I say this
Oh,
because this is a
oh,
valid point that you're making. Um, I don't have time to spend time tiptoeing around everybody's little bitty feelings with every step, every statement that I make. So, I don't spend a lot of time doing except for this person, except for that person when I'm making a broader statement. But I do definitely follow what
I
you're
get, I,
saying because there are some wonderful young men and young women out there.
There
But
sure
I
are.
can't have a full conversation if everything I say has to dial back and say, well, except for the good black
yeah, I'm
people,
not,
except for
I'm
the
Yeah,
not doing
that's
good
that.
that's
white
that's
people.
ridiculous.
I
When I
just
say
don't.
something, when I say
I
something
can't.
about the white community, you pretty much know that I'm talking about
The
the
racist white community.
the white supremacists, the
Yeah.
homophobes, everything. I'm not going to sit there and go except for. Otherwise, this will be a 4 or 5 hour show because I have to do. No, I'm not doing that.
Too many disclosures.
Yeah, I'm not
So
doing
yeah,
all
no,
this stuff.
but the pushback is valid, and I definitely take that.
No, I
I'm
get
just
what she's
saying
saying,
that the
but
way
just
I speak is very
We all
intentional.
speak in
So
general terms.
that's what that's coming
I
from.
mean, take me for instance. I speak in general terms of the Democratic Party, but if I got India Walton running for mayor, I'm voting for her every single time.
Oh well, now that's a whole nother discussion, and I really let me put it up, and I'm gonna say this. This might get me canceled by everybody up in here. Just because I support you does not mean that I fully understand or am a perfect ally, right? I I'm not always going to get everything right. And I refuse to spend all of my time trying to nitpick every little statement that I make. If by now you can't tell where I stand in various support of various groups, then there's nothing more I can really say on that particular notion. Try me by the spirit. Take into account the complexity of the things that I place forward because I'm very intentional in my word choice. But I'm not going to stop every conversation to say each of the gender specifications, each of the LGBTQ designations, each of the black uh, groups within the black culture, because there's a lot of us. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Same thing for white people, same people for indigenous people. Even broader when you talk about Latino and white, because what really is that? Because there's so many cultures and subcultures and groups within that. So could you imagine how long anything I say, because I already talked too much, anything I
Yeah,
say
gee,
would
Bill, I'm
have to
glad you said
be
it. I'm
to
glad
check off
you
all the
said it.
boxes?
We
now
are
that you don't put
glad
it
you
that
said
way,
it.
Theus. Yes, don't do that.
Yeah, yeah.
We'd be here till Tuesday.
No, you'll be here till
No, you'll be
Tuesday.
here for Tuesday. You'll see me on
All
this
by
same
yourself.
street.
Because ain't nobody know.
With that being said, we're gonna take our first break because I'm empty.
But
We
I do
will be.
accept the criticism and the pushback.
You don't like getting the last word?
No, I said I accept the criticism and the pushback.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, I'll say this. I'll take your criticism as long as it's respectful. You ain't got to agree with everything that I say. As a matter of fact, it'll be real freaking bored if you actually agree with everything that I say. Being respectful in your disagreement is really, really becoming rare. And it's not going to happen on this show. You don't have to agree with us. We don't even agree with each other
Mm-mm.
at all. But we ain't never disrespect each other. And by the way, I only speaking for myself, and I never had a desire to disrespect Theus or Tracy at all. I just disagree. Me and Theus disagreed on a lot of things. Me and Theus disagree on Ethan. I ain't sit there. You bald headed mother. We got to go there.
Yeah, we really don't.
Just disagree and move on with your daggone life, man. Jeez.
But
Uh,
always speak up because if you don't speak up, then points that are important oftentimes get missed. Even
we
when
got to
people don't-
stop because everybody's got to take a break now.
Yeah, everybody, I gotta get more water.
All right, we're going to take a break
I'm
real quick.
thirsty.
We'll be back with Foxy's videos of the week. So y'all stay tuned.
Living for weekends, wishing I could take a break from this world. Running on a hamster wheel, but searching for something I can't feel. I just wanna be a lost girl and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate above the ground and make eye contact with clouds. Now I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free, finally, I wanna be free, I wanna be free, finally, I wanna be free, finally. I always daydreaming, never imagined I lose my spark. Living in this crazy time, putting back the pieces of my mind. I know how to run from the dark and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate into the clouds. I'm so high above the ground, I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free, finally, I wanna be free, I wanna be free, finally, I wanna be free, higher to a bird. You, I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free, I wanna be free, I wanna be free, I wanna be free, finally.
We are back.
Sorry, I got sucked into these Facebook reels. Some of them be actually pretty interesting. I guess that's their way of making me TikTok.
Hello, Tanya. Tanya's my sister-in-law.
You're
way out, bro.
Yeah, you're way out, and your voice is vibrating.
No. Really?
Yeah, it's like your mic isn't on or something.
It's on, but it's
Like
like
your computer's doing your mic instead of whatever your lapel mic. So, Tracy, December plans, what you doing?
I'm just getting ready for the countdown. The countdown to January 4th. That's all I care about now. Christmas, okay, that's Jesus' birthday and everything, but, I mean, that's important. But he wasn't actually born in December, so, hey, it's countdown towards the 4th.
So that's when your new year actually starts.
It
For the
It
birthday.
depends on what day, because my birthday next year is on a Tuesday. Yay. But I'll be liking it better when it's on a weekend, so I could have that 3-day weekend. I got a couple more years till that come.
Is that better?
No, you're
No,
still the same. I think it's like your computer is doing your audio right now.
Is this better?
That's a little
yes,
better. Yeah.
yep, that's a whole lot better.
Oh, this is
But
so.
no, I'm gonna Christmas. I'm probably gonna watch football. I don't.
Catch up
Our
on
family
couple
doesn't get
of-
together for Christmas, so I'll probably go to Denny's and get one of those slam breakfasts or Chinese food for dinner.
Hey, Foxy's video.
Yeah. My brother's home from the hospital, so we're gonna have like a 2-day kind of
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
Good. Countdown, baby. New Year's. Make a pretty birthday gift for my friend, but I'm on a few more days. About
And check out my profile picture, Mickey. You should be very pleased with it because I put up my
God,
baby
Mickey,
picture.
what did you? No, don't. I was about to
Yeah,
say
you know
Mickey,
she gonna
but don't
do.
say
She
it on
know
here.
she did something, or they said she did something.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the latter part. It's
Yeah,
like being in real jail. What are you in for? Not what did you do?
That what did you do? What you in
What
for?
they catch you for?
No, what they say you did.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, everybody. It's time for, and especially because I found the video again, it's time for Foxy's Videos of the Week. Good Lord, I have officially been in jail more days this year than out.
Wow.
That's Mickey. All right, so let's start off with role playing.
What kind of show you running here, Marlon?
Oh, it ain't what you think. You don't know how this is gonna end the way it's supposed to.
Babe, I think we should role play tonight.
You want to role play?
Mm-hmm. You know, do something different, spice it up a little bit.
Like what? What you mean? What you trying to get into?
I'm thinking, okay, you'll be the doctor, and I'll be the patient.
Okay. Let me change to something a little bit more appropriate. The doctor will see you now.
Where'd you get the script?
So what brings you in today?
You know, I got like a lump downstairs.
Got a lump downstairs. Is that a pre-existing condition?
I don't know. Can you help me check it out, please?
Your insurance doesn't cover that.
You always ruining the mood. Like, I don't understand.
I'm
We're trying to
be
role play
realistic.
here. You're
I'm
taking
trying to be
it too
realistic.
damn
You don't have an
serious.
HMO. Your deductible is like $3,000. Come on now.
Plus,
That's why we need Medicare for all.
and I don't know what she thought was gonna happen when you told me there's a lump down there. I don't want to go see that. That ain't sexy.
You know what?
That ain't.
We
that ain't
got a
sexy.
whole.
Come on now.
Where are we going with this?
He went way too far into your HMO.
Yeah, because he
Hey,
heard
it's a
lump and he was like, all right, we're gonna abort this one.
Pre-existing condition.
Whew.
Hey, sometimes hey,
Man,
these
stick with the
questions have
postal
to be
worker,
asked.
man. Stick with the postal worker. Don't go
Hey,
medical.
Susan, how you
Don't go
screwing up?
medical.
That was role playing.
He went too dang on far. I'm like, dude,
Look,
you supposed to. Well, let me shut up. Cause
I'm not gonna play doctor with you, not like that. Cause I'm like, oh, you go to the doctor because something wrong. Ooh.
he gonna say the HMO.
Oh goodness.
Your
Well, the deduct-
insurance doesn't cover that. Really?
$3,000 deductible. I mean, that's that. You know. I mean, ma'am, do you?
Yeah. This is why we need Medicare for all.
My system did not crash. I have a mouse that the side button will revert everything back from.
Well, you got a
It's a new
fancy
system.
mouse.
It's a new mouse. It's just I got to get used to just make sure I don't push the wrong buttons.
I got an old school mouse.
Yeah. Romance is lost though.
Yeah, he has no clue.
Ain't nothing romantic about checking your lump down there.
Okay.
She said down there she could have met her stomach.
That ain't what she said. She said a lump down there.
It could have been on her thigh. It could have been like right there on her thigh.
Well, there's that.
He said down here.
I'm just saying.
She didn't point nowhere. You don't know where that
was. She intimated where it was, and I'm just saying there is nothing down there that I need to be around a lump on. Okay?
It's plenty of reasons why women get lumps down there. Plenty.
That's fine. Go to a real doctor.
Okay. So Tracy, let me ask you this then. There's plenty of reasons why there will be a lump down there. Is any of it sexy?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, that's life. Relationships are about give and take.
And he's got to love her
with the lump and without the lump.
And she needs to give better insurance before he takes the case.
But I'm with thee. She should have went with the post office guy. That one's the easy one.
Or if you want to say, that I have like it feels kind of sore, or something that would not make me feel icky about being there, right?
Because I ain't gonna go there. Because maybe that was her way of saying, "Hey, honey, there really is something." Anyways, just to stay on the theme of marriages.
And some of us is single and can't get right swiped on Tinder, but we're not going to go into that today because I'm not bitter.
Geez, thanks, Marlon.
I know.
She hasn't gone to Vegas yet.
I can't afford to go to Vegas.
If you don't know what that joke is, that's your fault for not watching the show.
Yep, sure is.
You need to tune in more often.
Next time you need to tune in.
Yeah, then you'll know what we're talking about.
You know what we're talking about. That's on you, not us. We ain't gonna stop dropping jokes because you decide that you'll find better things to do. Should but worry. Kiss the
Thank you, Mickey.
Yeah.
See, that's how you play. That's how you play. Say, yeah. No, see, there's a bump, not a lump. Okay. Okay.
You know what though? Desperate times call for what?
Not for this.
Not for that. No.
Desperate times calls for you being by yourself.
I feel like there's a button. Like there's a button down there, and I just need somebody to take a look at it. See, that button. I know what that means. All right, I'll go play with the man in the boat. But what you're not gonna do is say you got a lump. Okay, because now I'm worried. See, I love you. I'm concerned about you. I'm not qualified for this.
You would mess with her even if she had a lump. Stop lying.
Say what?
Y'all would sleep with that woman irregardless if she had a lump or a bump or a hump or whatever.
Well, see, how big is the hump we talking about?
My wife watched this show, so I'm gonna let this go. Hate to tell you this, but that lump is also called the man in the boat. I know, Nikki. The man in the boat.
Yeah, as I was saying, the bump and the man in the boat. I'm with you. Find the pearl in the clam. I'm with you. I'm with you on all of those things. But when you say it's a lump,
yeah,
that's how cancerous, baby. We need to find out. I need to make sure you okay.
You never heard it called the man in the boat? Oh yeah.
Yep. So only if you love Tribe Called Quest. So that's the first time I heard it referenced as a man.
I don't even know where I heard it from. I just knew it was.
I don't know where I heard it from, but it might have been.
Actually, it was a long statement. It's a man in a boat. Just make sure you don't drown.
Hey, if you got to drown, man, that's a good way to go out. All right. See.
Yeah, next video, please.
We're gonna stick to the theme of
Thanks,
stuff.
Marlon.
It is marriage. We're gonna stick to the theme of it. This is for all the men. Men. No, wait a minute.
I don't know, because
it's a marriage thing.
It
I just remember some parts of the video.
Yeah,
sometimes you just need to learn when to shut up.
doing? Is that your wife over there? What is the least sexiest part of your wife?
Her stomach.
Okay. You gonna mess around and let this game get your ass whooped. Yeah! Name something you can't wait to get out of at the end of your day.
Marriage.
Not that funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there a lawyer in the house?
Yep, your ass is in trouble. If you could change one part of your husband's body, what would it be? Joyce?
His penis. His penis.
Just damn.
Hey, girl, you gonna tell the whole world?
Well, hey, now in her defense, she might have been saying that it was just too big for her. I mean, that's the best I got.
Mickey, I'm almost with you, but I ain't never been married. So what the heck I know?
Yeah. But I mean, all right. So for the guys out there, first, you just got to let that buzzer go. Like, you just don't buzz in. You just let it go.
But you have to say an answer.
No, you don't. You do not have to hit that buzzer.
Yes. Look,
and you can always
you're playing for $20,000.
Yeah.
Boo her and boo her feelings. You hit that buzzer.
My house is worth more than 20. Half of my house is worth more than 20,000. Half my assets is worth more than $20,000. Let me be up there. You say, what's the least attractive part of your wife's body? I would be sitting like,
I ain't touching Jack.
I'm
not. She's perfect. You know you lying.
No,
you
ain't got to lie.
I'm not touching the buzzer. I'm walking back to the group. You out of your mind.
Ain't no.
I'm not putting my marriage on the line for this.
I'm gonna be like
you
that last woman.
it.
I'm gonna say just what's on my mind, not the answer that she said. I'm gonna be like his stomach because he got too many of them. I'm gonna say something.
So why is it he can say that? But I bet you if your man says a mess like that,
first of all, I don't have that big of a stomach anymore.
It don't matter. I'm saying you can have almost no stomach. The fact that your man got on national TV instead of all the things
that's for $20,000. I'm gonna shut up.
The only answer is
my marriage is worth $20,000. Because did you see what it said? Divorce across a whole bunch of them.
Yeah,
they not gonna divorce them people.
She gonna make your life hell.
So she gonna make it miserable for 2 weeks, and then he gonna give her a present, and then she gonna be like, "Oh, thank you."
As one married man to all of the other married men or the young married men who don't know no better yet, option 1, stall until you get the buzzer.
Mm-hmm.
Option 2, say her left earlobe.
And then
those are 2 options. Those are 2 options right there.
I'm like, hey, his butt is too big.
Nope.
Boom.
Go with an earlobe, earlobe, earlobe. Because you can't say her nose, you can't say her pinky toe, you can't say her big toe, you can't say nothing about her hands, you can't say nothing about her chest, you can't say nothing about nothing. Dude, you say 0 or you say earlobe.
Earlobe.
You're safe.
I'm like, hey, this is for money. Shut up and get in line.
We got to make it up. We're gonna have to make the points up somewhere else.
You know what? this video right here is right up your alley, Tracy. It really is, because it's all about the money. So this is for you.
If you press that button, you will receive $1 million, but someone that you don't know will die. If I press it more than once, do I get more money? Well, yes, but then more people...
I mean, that's to the extreme, but... I mean, really? I mean, is this somebody I know?
Nope, it's somebody you don't know.
Somebody you don't know.
Well...
But what I would caution to people out there is to somebody, you're somebody they don't know.
That's true, too. Yep, now I do have to think about that. But how she press it that many times?
Because they said she could multiply.
I'm with you, Susan. My earlobes are too.
I bet they are. But you know what? If we manage to win that round and we get home, the amount of, or even if we lose that round and we get home, the amount of pushback you will give me for saying your earlobe, it'll be comical. You'll be laughing. I'll be laughing. It'll be great. Let me name something else.
Like her face.
Not
no, never that. Nothing in the face. Nothing in the face.
So them hairs that's on top of her lip.
She could have a unibrow.
No, she can't.
And a big mole.
Nah, you got to shave that thing in the middle, sis.
And I still wouldn't name any of them things.
No, she can't have a unibrow. No.
I'm saying.
No. No.
I understand you say
that. And Tracy, the mustache too. No.
Yeah, women with mustache. I mean, there's hormonal issues.
I don't give
a
no.
They have hair removal, sis.
Marlon's like, we'll shave it every day.
Yeah.
No, because that makes it grow back faster.
Not faster than every day.
Shave it before I kiss you.
But I'm like, man, look, you never know what
they
life
set
will deal
those
to
questions
somebody.
up like that on purpose.
Yeah, they do. They want to get.
But Tracy, but you fell for it then. That's still on you.
No, but I'm saying they set those questions. Not the last one. I'm talking about the Family Feud one. They set those questions up for a good ha-ha laugh.
They do, and I get that. But you know what? Is if we're like three of the people on the panel, they're gonna have to get the ha-ha out of the two of you.
Oh, they're gonna get it at me. I'm coming 100.
I value peace when I get back to my hotel.
And I don't got nobody come home to. Oh yeah, his ego. Yeah,
But in this scenario, you do.
I have a unibrow, a mustache, and a teenage boy.
Susan, you do not. We want to see pictures because I don't believe it.
Susan does the extra. The next video. And funny thing about it is, regardless of what video I show now, we still gonna go back to Family Feud. So
and we also know now that Tracy is in favor of mass murder.
I am not in favor of mass murder. I just said, well, it's something to think about.
That woman just killed 4 people for $4 million.
Tracy going for 80.
I'm just saying, you gotta have goals.
She gonna play it like Batman.
Just make sure you put me in juvenile jail, okay?
Ooh, Lordy. Anyway,
that was tacky.
Blind reactions.
All right, I'm supposed to blind react to this, I guess.
Okay. If something jumps out at me, Murphy, I'm gonna be really mad. From the roof. From behind the clothes. I don't see anything.
Supposed to be behind the clothes rack? Move out of the fucking way. There's still nothing.
I don't get it.
Okay, I'm not a member of Mensa. That one flew totally over my head.
I don't get that one.
I'm like, huh? He just moved the clothes rack and they was in the garage. Okay, people's garages are dirty because they got stuff in them.
Yeah.
A blind reaction is that was supposed to be a split screen. And then come to find out it's not a split screen. He's in the same room with them. And this joke is completely dead now.
Yeah, because
I'm sorry, I wasn't smart enough for that.
I'm not in Mensa. I'm just, I'm not utterly bright. I mean, I'm not stupid. But I'm like, huh? What? Didn't get that one.
The people I have on here, I had a bold this to live on.
Nikki, you can't even see that mole.
Do I still get the $1 million?
No, she said I could get more.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It bookends so nicely with the child killer.
Thank you, Joey, because I was like, huh?
I'm the only
Thank
one.
you, Susan. Because
Yeah, I'm
I
with
was like,
y'all.
what?
I didn't get it. I was like, okay, dude standing there. Something was supposed to
I thought the clothes were going
surprise
to get
her.
up and
Nothing
walk.
surprised her.
So I will never be showing videos like that again. Anyway,
But here's oh wait, so on that thing about the shocking thing, what if after you thinking it's just going to shock someone, you find out that A, they didn't tell you how strong the shock was, and B, everyone that got shocked actually died. Now, how do you feel about your four, five,
because what's the difference
$6 million?
between that and what was that
Yeah,
movie?
I mean, I
What's
would
that movie
never
that comes out
legitimately
like every
hit a
other
button
year?
to shock someone. I would, no, I wouldn't do
What's
it.
that horror movie that comes out where the people have to make a decision
Saw
between
or something like that?
Saw? Yeah. What's the difference?
Or what's that one, the show where it's in Korea and they all
Squid
compete?
Games?
Yeah, I've never seen it. People talk
I haven't
about it
seen it,
all
but
the
I
time.
saw the first episode of it, and to me, there are certain movies that's hyped because it's hyped. And that movie just seemed to me it was hyped because it was hyped. I watched the first episode and went, "This is stupid. This is just."
Well, that's
I'm
90%
not
of
I'm
the
not
TV
that
shows
damn broke.
today.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, where I'm gonna go kill somebody. Yeah, let me go kill somebody.
No, the whole menace was you're gonna get killed
If you don't
if you
don't
don't
win.
get. No, I'm not putting my life on the line for cash.
But
No.
the trick is
No.
you might say, I'm not going to put my life on the line for cash. But then what if you're putting someone else's life on the line for
I
cash
wouldn't put
and
somebody
you
else's.
don't know who they are?
I'm not
They have
playing.
no
I won't
attachment
play
to
the
you.
game if I know. If I'm
Yeah, if
tricked
I
into
know
playing something that's gonna put somebody's life on the line, then fine.
Yeah, somebody's life's in my hand. Nah, bro.
Yeah,
No.
that's a
no,
good one,
I
Joy.
don't care.
If you actually have to see them being shocked.
But that's why it's done that way, so that you can remove yourself. It's the equivalent to what we were talking about with the child killer, where as long as someone else is dealing out the punishment, then I can feel okay with it.
Yep. Let me move I'm trying to move my
But
computer where y'all can see my head.
still falls into the category of I'm not seeing it.
Right, but you're
What
still.
I'm asking
But you know what's happening.
You're still the executioner.
Have to actually see it.
I agree, but what I'm saying is that's the same thing. Like that's the underwriting part of what I
No,
was.
I'm not. It's
kinda
not an
getting at,
agreement or
yeah.
disagreement. I'm saying would it change compared to? In other words, if we go back to the button and haha, you push the button, somebody has to die. That you don't know. They made it perfectly clear that you don't know. Okay, you don't know the person and they die, but you have to watch them die.
I wouldn't push it.
Would that change the dynamic of you still playing that game?
I wouldn't
See, I
play the
think it
game in
would-
the first place.
One, I wouldn't do it, right? Because, but here's the thing. But see, Tracy, and I love these thought puzzles because it starts to really get at some things. So the scenario is, I'm going to give you a buzzer. For each time you press the buzzer, someone is going to die that you don't know, and you'll get $1 million though. But if you don't press the button at all, understand that there are 3 more people playing the same game, and you could end up dying. Or better yet, you're the only one playing the game. If you don't push the button, then you will die. Or you can press the button, you'll live, someone else will die, and you'll get $1 million.
That's cool. That's
let me put another scenario on it. And we're gonna stick to if you press this button, you'll get $1 million, but somebody you don't know will die. Who's to say after you're done, the game don't continue, and you become that other person that they don't know?
Then
So it's
somebody
great
else.
that you have $1 million. Too bad you don't know how long you got to spend it.
The sad part about that is I think people would still play the game
Yes.
because I think most people function on an ideal that it wouldn't happen to them. Like they'll look at, there's billions of people in the world. So what are the odds that I'm one of the next ones versus the certainty that I would get $1 million or more. And I think that's how a lot of people do it. So long as, like you said, Marlon, they can be separated from seeing it be carried out. Because once you can see it being carried out,
Then
now you have to visually attach yourself to that execution.
And to that person.
Yeah.
That you don't even know. And I'm like, what kind of sick, twisted person even says, if you press this button,
I hate this damn mouse.
and you get $1 million? Who says that? I mean,
but sick people will do things like that.
They will.
They'll play with people, especially these really sadistic, sick people, because they'll be like, okay, look, I'm going to shoot you, or you can tell me which one of these people I should shoot instead.
Yep, that's true.
You got some sick people out there.
They
Yeah, it's some people.
And we joke about it on this, but I guarantee you, if it was real, we're using our imagination, right? There's probably somebody who would tear that button up.
They sure would. Be like,
there's a lot of people would, because it's not real until it touches you. That's the reality of the human condition.
Let's change the question. If you hit the button, your least favorite family member goes, well, I didn't like him anyway. No, I mean, like, well, let's stop.
No, they'll try to justify going, well, maybe I'll get rid of a bad guy. Maybe I'll get rid of somebody who
rapist.
Always try to rationalize their way out.
Yeah, they'll justify trying to get out of it.
Yeah.
People always do when they do stupid things.
People will always resort, left to their own devices, people naturally anyway, will resort to the least path of resistance. You know, and it's unfortunate, but it's the human condition. Merry old England and France, shoot, they did it right here in America.
We ain't got to go to France. They had picnics for hangings.
Yep, for lynchings. They sure did.
They had bonfires. This was a treat for them.
Cut off a piece of the man and keep it as a souvenir.
Yeah.
Yep, and then that's where they got the term picnic from.
That's what they say. I don't know, but yeah.
It does sound like it could be true, though.
It does sound like it could be true. It does sound like. But yeah,
at this point in time, anything that's deep dive into history, I'm not going to be shocked about it anymore.
Humanity is a dark, twisted thing.
Yep.
People are just garbage. Can we just say that? People
I agree with that one.
I'm not, but I have to hear what you're saying.
I agree with it because the power of groupthink is immense, and we've seen it. You know. Yep. Right. Like what Mickey just said. Yep.
Yeah, true. Like I said, I didn't know that. I've heard that's where it came from, but like I said, I'm not in Mensa, so.
Well, thank goodness that
I left darn Facebook.
Thank goodness I left this last video. This is more for Tracy than anybody, and no, Thea's a find a political or social thing behind it. But
me.
But Tracy will enjoy it, and I'm pretty sure everybody else will enjoy it. So.
It's a toddler. It's a little girl in the daycare.
No, that little grown, keep that grown baby up out of here.
Hold on, I'm going to show these last. No, I'm not. Y'all talk among yourselves. It's getting dark in here. Tomorrow is going to be a pretty dark show because tomorrow is going to be the year in review. So,
what? This has been a wonderful year.
Yeah, mine is January 6th.
It was.
I'll
say this, and then we're gonna move on. 2021 was a lot better than 2020.
Oh, what was it?
But see, was it though?
For a lot of people, it wasn't.
Because we've gone from, what was it, 340,000 COVID deaths
to 800,000
coming into the year to 800,000, and now, granted, by raw numbers, you would say that this was worse, but The first year is because people were lied to, they were deceived, we were waiting on vaccines. But then this year, it's been self-inflicted injuries for the most part, and collateral damage. But yeah,
when you look at 2020, everything was well, I can't even add anything to the theas. You was either you didn't have the information or you was giving false information about something we had no clue about.
Yeah.
2021, sorry to say, if you succumb to this virus,
unless you had
it wasn't because of a lack of knowledge.
Yeah, it's like 2020 was the killer is approaching the house, but you didn't know it. And then he got in your house and you didn't know it. But by the end of the year, you knew he was in the house. 2021, I'm sorry, 2020 before. 2021 is knowing the killer's in the house, you locked the door and took a nap. Dude,
because you wanted life to
well, it all kicked off with the terrorist attack. Y'all forgetting that totally, but that's for tomorrow's show.
Say what?
I said y'all forgetting about the terrorist attack in January.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's going to be part of the review. Anyway.
Oh, did you hear about the one guy got 5 years? Wow, a whole 5 years.
Yeah, and one woman who did the same thing 50 years ago got 50 years.
She's got a whole 5 years, though.
And what, he'll probably serve less
year,
than a quarter of that for good time off?
It makes me remember the black boy who hit a police horse with his car, and he got life.
Oh, no, we already got DJ who just pointed his gun at undercover investigators.
I'm not familiar.
He can spend the rest of his life in jail.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that one.
Let's not forget about the woman in Texas that spent 5 years in jail for voter fraud.
Or the woman who got put in prison because she fired a warning shot into her ceiling.
Yeah. And what was that? Stand your ground, Florida? Yeah, stand your ground unless you're black. Don't stand if you're black. That does not apply to you.
Didn't that woman who put her child in the wrong school system get like 5 or 6 years for that?
Now she actually got her time because she had previous charges.
I don't care.
But she had a warrant.
I'm trying to go to a lighter side.
Oh, okay. We sorry. Go ahead. It's your show.
This literally is not on me anymore. So.
Okay, we sorry.
Sorry, Marlon.
They try to get you to commit suicide before 2022. I'm trying to lighten stuff up. Silly me. So sorry, before we get started, see it start already.
Said I was sorry.
See, Mickey. How about the black? How about?
That's what I was talking about, Mickey, in Texas.
Yep.
But you know why she won't get pardoned? Yeah, we know why.
Yep. The white man who voted for his dead wife, and they still ain't figured out what to do with him.
Or the governor whose son voted for him and he was 17. Y'all better shut up. Okay, I'm done.
Sorry, Marlon.
I ain't falling for this. I'm not falling for it. As soon as I open my mouth, I know y'all gonna jump back in. Anyway, to end off on a good note, if they let it, and by the way, just to make sure, to end off on a good note, this is for Tracy.
Down, down, down. When my boss caught me sleeping on the job, I was like, down, down, down. When I was showing off my watch and got robbed, I was like, down, down, down. When my Air Force Ones looked fake, I was like, down, down, down. And when somebody ate the last piece of cake, I was like, down, down, down.
you know,
Rest
when
in
people
peace,
try to
James.
hold up the high standard of not cursing, they just get thrown under the bus. And I'm tired of it, America. They're picking on me. They scandalizing my name. But I'm just sitting here, trying to bring the standard up. And Marlon pulls out my favorite scene from Good Times.
That was your favorite scene?
That was my favorite scene.
James died.
I know, but it was so like
That's
dramatic.
dark. Oh my.
But again, they're trying to attack me. And I see it. I see it clearly.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, that whole
And
last
yes,
piece of
Tracy,
cake
you
thing.
are so much fun to pick on.
I am not. I am a person with feelings. It
You're right,
hurts
Tracy.
inside.
I'm with you.
Wow, we actually got 10 minutes.
Oh, well.
Okay.
Let the record show I had nothing political to say about that.
Yeah, because
Okay,
people
let
taking
me
the last
see if I can
piece of cake.
find something political to say about that. Nope.
Not that one.
I mean,
Because
now
the
here's
last piece of cake.
a household politics.
Yeah, okay, Tracy, yeah.
Yeah, when somebody
Don't
eat
do
that last
that.
piece of cake, and I know y'all gonna say, well, she got diabetes. Yeah, we still eat cake. Newsflash, diabetics still eat cake. We know we shouldn't have it, but you know what? Every now and then I want a piece of cake. Don't sit there. See Mickey, yeah, Mickey the main one. But if I'd have made good cake, and I'm talking about a Louisiana crunch cake, which is like one of my all-time favorite cakes, and it's one slice and you eat it, we might come to blows. Because that piece of cake, I'd have been sitting there like, okay, I'm going to eat me some cake. Now you eat it, I can't.
No, I can tell you something that's really, really is bad.
Drinking the last swallow in the orange juice.
No, we're sticking with the cake. When you dream about that cake all day long.
That's what I'm saying. You know, thought about
When
that
you
cake.
know, when you get home and you gonna have dinner, everything straight, everything fine, everything, and you purposely save that last piece of cake. You wrapped it in aluminum foil, put it in the back of the refrigerator, so nobody can look for it.
You know what? I'm about to say. That's because y'all don't have the right rules. See, I took this rule from my daddy. I get the last piece of whatever dessert. Now, if I happen to eat it or not is different. I might give it away to somebody. But the last piece belongs to me. That's what the rule is. They all know it. And I don't even have a sweet tooth. But the last piece is mine. Just like the big piece of chicken.
The big piece of chicken is I didn't
I came with the chicken breast. You can have that all day.
I don't do sweets.
I'm a wing woman. Just give me
see,
chicken wings.
I think the thigh is better than the breast, but I'm just saying because I'm a thigh man. But it's mine, and my whole family owns it, and it makes it so much simpler. But here's the problem that you have is when you have children that are, God is a funny sense of humor. So he will give you a child that is so much like yourself. So what my middle child does is same thing I did as a kid, and just keep cutting at that last piece.
Yep.
And it goes from being that big.
Then cut them real thin. Cut them real thin. Like that's not a slice. That's just a taste.
Don't let it have icing on it. And
Yeah,
it's cold.
Ooh,
and they
she will cut it down to just that point.
Creep around that icy part till all you have left on that place the cake.
It's a Louisiana.
I know it started off as chocolate cake.
Oh, you can have chocolate.
Now all I got is cake. Where the hell is the icing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got a little icing on the top, but everything on the back gone.
I have no idea where it went. I don't know. Wasn't me.
Now you can have that chocolate cake. Eat it all day. I don't care. I cannot stand chocolate cake.
Last piece is mine.
I just want the big piece of chicken.
I don't. Give me a chicken wing,
right,
and I'm satisfied.
Wings and thighs. Chicken breasts just.
It's too much. I'm like, come on.
That ain't too much. Now I eat, like, you go to Publix and get a rotisserie chicken. I eat half the chicken.
I do not like rotisserie chicken.
What? Why?
I don't see the.
My wife doesn't like
dislike
it
as it is nasty, blah blah blah, and everything else. It's like this ain't no better than any other chicken I've ever tried. I don't get the point.
Because it has less fat than getting a fried chicken.
Yeah, but fried chicken tastes so much better.
I don't think it tastes any better.
I do. I mean, I like rotisserie chicken, but when I'm making chicken and it's Sunday, I'm pretty much gonna fry it.
Yeah. But what will make me mad is if you leave me legs.
Oh, that's just. Oh
right
no, we gonna fight.
That's what you give the youngest person in the house gets the leg. Okay, because they ain't got no choice. They ain't got no rights.
Yeah, it's like you don't pay no bills. You get the leg. I'll take what's from me, Joy. Chocolate cake is so dry and I like white cake.
Chocolate cake
and I like lemon cake.
Dry.
Lemon cake is great.
Chocolate cake is disgusting. It's terrible. I don't like it.
Person. I don't do.
I don't have an air fryer because.
And the year of our Lord, 2021, you don't have an air fryer?
I sure don't. I won't pay that much money for it.
Everybody is supposed to have an air fryer by the end of this year.
Well, I'm not going to be one of them people unless somebody gives me $100 to buy one.
That was a Biden mandate.
We're all going to cash app Tracy to get an air fryer. I repeat.
Yes.
We're all going to cash app
Tracy
to get an air
Media
fryer.
74 because I don't got no money for no air fryer.
Tracy, do you like French fries?
And Tracy, you can
No,
stop
I don't.
With,
I actually don't like French fries.
You can stop with the money thing because air fryers don't cost that much anymore. You get air fryer for $30.
You know what's funny about the air fryer? It ain't nothing but a convection oven.
It is really.
No, thank you.
Chocolate icing and chocolate. Oh, good God! Ooh.
Hey,
chocolate
if you like,
I like white cake with white icing.
If you like chocolate, because I'm not even a cake person, I'm a brownie guy. But if you like apple,
wait a minute, do you like the edges or the middle parts of the brownie?
Depends on how crispy the edges are. I don't like to fight with my food, so. And I like my brownies.
Everybody that's trying to put in about the moisture of Tracy. What chocolate cake have you had?
I've had too many people's chocolate cake. I'm like, it's like I end up.
What I'm saying is, if you had chocolate cake and it's dry, it's somebody the cake.
Messed up. Yeah,
it has nothing to do with this flavor.
But I don't like chocolate flavor in cake. I like brownies. I like candy bars, but not chocolate cake. I tell you one thing as a black person that I'm going to have controversy about. I'm not that big on pound cake.
I don't like it either.
I don't really like it either.
Oh,
I don't
heavy cake.
That big of a deal to me.
Especially not like the traditional, great aunt pound cake.
Yeah,
a big heavy
cake. Heavy piece. You throw it in the window, it's gonna shatter the window.
Oh my God. Great grandmama, nanny's uncle, sister's pound. I get all that.
Nobody want to eat that heavy cake.
But what I can eat is, normally grocery store cake just ain't good. But that's where I'll go and get lemon or strawberry pound cake because it's so greasy, it's terrible for you. But it's lighter in its moisture. Has more moisture, whatever the right term is for moist in it. I don't like that word either. But anyway, it's good. But that old time, like
Granny Mama
dinner, grandmama made pound cake. She made 4 different pound cakes with various levels of weird glaze on it. I don't like that.
Every family member in my family has their specialty. When it comes to greens, that's my daughter. Nobody make greens except my daughter. Banana pudding, that's my mother-in-law. Nobody makes banana pudding.
Yeah, I can't
than my
die not
mother-in-law.
eating that either.
When it comes to dressing, that's my mother. Nobody makes it but my mother. When it comes to potato salad, that's my wife. Nobody makes potato salad but my wife.
But
But that's how it's supposed to work.
When
But
it
does
comes
she
to
have
breakfast,
potato salad making arms?
What?
You know, with that little fat hanging
You
down
talking
in
about
the
the
middle?
great aunt arm?
Yeah, them great aunt arms. You
well,
know,
that's for everything, though, isn't it?
No, it's mainly meant for when you're talking about the mac and cheese
and the macaroni cheese. If they don't got that flabby part, I'm not eating it.
But see,
No, I'm
but you
not.
know what, Tracy? I will pick on you, except I remember saying this a while back to my wife. If you're not a dark-skinned black person,
Oh boy.
I don't trust your barbecue.
Wow.
Well, now I ain't gonna even
That
go
ain't
that petty.
If you
But I'm trying to think of the last
Or
light
if
skinned
you're
dude who
not-
made good barbecue. I don't know if I can think of.
if you're not a 5-foot white woman, I don't trust your bacon.
Now, bacon is easy to make. You just stick it in the oven.
No, not bacon, baking.
Oh,
Cakes,
baking.
cookies, pastry.
No, anybody can make a good if they're committed to it.
Yeah, they can make a good cake.
Good pastries and stuff.
Apparently,
And then
you
the
haven't had
barbecue,
good chocolate
the
cake.
barbecue ain't about what color you is. The barbecue is what's your shoe game like, okay? Because if you ain't got
Them loafers,
yeah.
forget it.
If you ain't got the Samson and Delilah 2000s on, I'm just saying.
Like, what if you're not wearing them shoes the disciples wore, why I'm eating your barbecue?
I don't trust it. That's right. And you
Like-
gotta have that white towel
whoa,
that shouldn't
whoa,
still be out
whoa.
here with everybody. You gotta have that on you too.
Pack of chicken and clay.
Nah,
Yeah, I'm gonna
Susan,
pass
I
on that.
ain't I'm gonna pass on that one.
I'm not gonna be able to do that. I understand that's cultural, but
Yep.
I'm not gonna be.
But
able,
if
I'm
she
not
don't
gonna be
got
able to
them
do that.
flappy arms, like I got the flappy arms, but I can't make macaroni and cheese. But if you don't got it, I'm not eating your cookie. For what?
But that's
For
one
what?
beautiful thing, though, because I grew up in a Southern Black family, so it's what your specialty is essentially almost assigned to you by the matriarch in the family. Like they're the ones who ultimately decide if that's what your dish will be for these family events. So like in my case, it's my mom now. So every family event, my brother makes like pretty much all the meats because he's like an amazing cook. My wife does the mac and cheese and the greens, right? And then she is in the process of teaching our daughters how to do those particular things so it continues to pass
But
on.
who makes
And I
the
just think that's so
cornbread?
cool. Usually my
I don't
brother.
do
See, we're
cornbread.
basic with
I don't do
cornbread.
cornbread enough for anybody to.
Yeah, we're a Jiffy
Yeah,
cornbread
'cause-
family, so we don't care. It ain't that big a deal
No,
for
but dude,
us.
some people don't put egg in their Jiffy cornbread mix. I'm like, nah, I can't deal with no nasty hot water cornbread.
It's in the instructions.
It's in the instructions.
Who doesn't put egg in it?
You know how many
the
people eat
instructions.
hot water cornbread? Do you know how many
Oh, well, see, they
people
don't use Jiffy for that. You talking about the hot, whatever the term is for the
hot water cornbread?
Yeah, I'm not that Southern.
I mean, very few I don't like. I love playing with my food.
I can't stand to cook.
Flavor.
That's why I hope to marry somebody that
That
can't cook.
that Mickey is barbecue. I eat barbecue. That is fun. When you experiment with different rubs, different flavors, different spices on the same food. So chicken. You may have a pack of wings, legs, thighs, whatever. But you literally may wind up with like 4 or 5 different flavors on your grill at the same time, and you pick and choose which one you like and which one you don't like. Whichever wins out. Maybe you like your wings a little on the sweet side. Maybe you like it a little bit on the spicy side. Maybe you like it a little tangy. It changes. It's that barbecuing when you have the money is fun.
But you know what? As much as I love ribs, it's like sometimes it seems like a waste of time. You spend all them hours and you take one little rib on. I'm like, where the meat at? Where the meat?
No, that's pork chops.
No, now pork chops is life.
I haven't had pork chops in years. But I mean, it all depends. Me, I don't like cooking. My brother loves cooking, and he's amazing at it. Me, I do most of the cooking in my family.
I did.
My wife is the superior cook. She just hates to cook, so she doesn't do it. So the children love to eat what I eat, and I will eat the exact same thing every day.
See, I can't
and
do
it
that.
doesn't bother me one
The next day, I
bit.
gotta have something totally different than I had the day before.
Nope, I'll eat the same thing every day. If it's something I like, I'll do it every day.
I can do breakfast.
Yeah, breakfast for dinner.
Love it.
Oh, I
Yep.
cooked some
You give me some
baked chicken in the air fryer, Joy. Oh, it's so wonderful.
Fried chicken in a deep fryer.
Well, I don't. I'm not that big on fried chicken, so
What? Boy,
yeah, I'm not that big on fried food.
Oh,
I mean, I'll eat it, but it's not.
But just fried chicken. That's wait a minute.
Plain Greek yogurt. The only thing I will do with plain Greek yogurt is stick it in my smoothie. That's as far as it goes.
I mean, I'll eat it, but it's got to have some fruit at the bottom of it.
Greek yogurt has no flavor to it whatsoever.
I'll put it in my smoothie, and my smoothie has to be frozen. It has to be a frozen smoothie. So I get frozen berries, Greek yogurt, spinach.
Thank you, Joe. That's what I'm saying. You can do fried chicken in the.
It won't be no different taste. But
Yeah,
that rotisserie chicken you get from Kroger, you can miss me with that.
Well, I won't get it at Kroger or Ingles. It's always dry. Now Publix is usually.
Well, see, we don't have Publix here. All we got is Walmart.
Oh no, I won't shop at
And
Walmart
Kroger.
for nothing.
And here we're going to get political, folks.
In Meyer. No, all I'm saying is outlets is all we got.
I'm talking about this.
My answer would be political, but yeah, I won't mess with Walmart for nothing. I got to be on a road trip in the middle of nowhere, and it's the only store, and then I'm still looking for Family Dollar or Dollar
That's
General.
even worse than Walmart.
No, ain't nothing worse than Walmart.
Well, look up Family Dollar.
Nikki, you could actually do a
I don't eat gravy or soup.
Wait a minute, you don't eat gravy. So
when you about to get your car pulled.
You talking about now, Marlon? You talking about my car?
I'm agreeing with you, Tracy.
Because I'm like, huh?
But doggone,
you put some gravy on some mashed potatoes?
Gravy.
Oh my gosh!
No offense, I don't do that.
I will eat fried chicken. The only gravy that I'll eat is Popeye's gravy that they put on the mashed potatoes.
I don't do gravy.
I will not eat soup because personally, I don't think you can eat soup. You drink soup. So give me
chicken noodle soup.
Stew is the closest I'm gonna get to a soup because I don't like my food to float. For the same reason, I don't eat cereal.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. How you not gonna eat cereal?
I'm not drinking.
I haven't had cereal.
You know how many? If I took this camera to my kitchen, there's at least 5 boxes of cereal just all in a row.
There's cereal all over my kitchen. I ain't eating it. The kids.
I got cereal on top of my refrigerator now.
It makes a good breakfast. It makes a good lunch. It makes a good dinner. It makes a good snack.
You know how I challenge that? Because see, my wife will say that, and my kids will say that. But you know what? Because I refuse to eat cereal, like I ain't gonna do it. It's just not gonna happen. When I go to make me something to eat, all of a sudden that cereal ain't quite so appetizing. Now you want what I'm eating.
I eat cereal all the time. Almost every morning. Yes. Oatmeal is what I won't eat. I know. Oatmeal, no. I don't care what you put in oatmeal. No. Don't talk to me. No.
I don't eat grits. I don't want no.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait.
Oh Lord.
What? Boy, get off this podcast.
Only way I eat grits is this dish at this Louisiana bistro out here where they use it's snapper, crawfish, spinach,
grits
and like yellow grits.
You just don't put sugar in them because that's the.
I don't eat grits for any other reason. I ain't eating it. You can put it on my plate if you want to. I'm gonna look at you like you're crazy.
I will take your grits and eat them.
Yeah,
I eat them with fish. I eat them with shrimp.
Eat them while they must be. You gotta eat them when they're hot because them things turn into like the plastic play food if
All
you
you
let it
gotta
sit
do
long
is
enough.
put some little hot water on them. They'll get it.
What
Well, I
food
gotta put
is
more water on it. You just I seen
No,
it.
not a
You
lot
know,
of
like
water,
plastic.
just a little bit.
No.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
No.
I'm gonna eat me some grits. Point
So
blank.
you don't want to eat grits at all
Nope.
because you waited till it got so cold that it gets
Yeah, who
hard.
gonna sit there and eat cold
Like,
grits?
I don't want it when it's hot.
That you waited.
I don't want it when it's hot. I don't want grits. I don't want no
Now
grits.
you sit here talking about me not liking sweet potato pie is bad. Him
That's
not
because that's
liking
wrong.
grits work.
Because that's wrong.
No, it's nasty.
That's wrong.
No, sweet potato pie is nasty. Nasty. You give me a pumpkin pie, I'm a happy girl. No, it does
No,
not,
it doesn't, Joy. No.
No, don't
Joy.
nobody put on that
No.
cereal. No.
No.
Nope, it's butter,
No.
salt, pepper,
I'm
or
gonna tell you
cheese,
why Joy did this.
salt, pepper.
I'm gonna tell you why Joy is doing this. But it is before y'all two got on the show. I used to say this all the time. Sugar does not go on grits. I have a video of a pastor who started off by saying, you know, I'm going to say something controversial, and I don't want this to separate the church, but it is something that I have to say. You know, he was trying to make it real deep, but then he ended it with sugar doesn't go on grits.
That is controversial.
I would have stood up and give that man a standing ovation. I was like, yes.
And I would have been looking at the 5 people in the church that's talking about putting sugar on their grits.
Nasty.
And be like, something wrong with you.
We're on our way to the Great Grit War. Yes, we are.
Whoever puts sugar on their grits, what's wrong with you?
Something wrong with them.
Polenta is okay, but grits are better.
Wait a minute. Isn't polenta like afterbirth?
like
what
it
is
was,
that?
Polenta is a, it's kind of like in the grits family, but it's not as.
It's not.
I don't want to say.
It's a little more mushy.
Yeah, it's more mushy to me.
I must be thinking about polenta.
Meal.
You thinking of the woman's placenta. You're thinking of
Oh,
placenta.
there you go.
Not polenta. And that's the technical term for it, Marlon. So stop laughing.
No, it's because I'm sitting here thinking that the polenta is the placenta.
Oh my God!
I knew just what you was thinking.
I promise you, I'm looking at that like I'm so disgusted by what I'm seeing.
That's them, not me, y'all. Just look at me. Ignore them too.
I was so offended. I'm serious.
I'm like, I think he thinks they talking about placenta, and it's polenta.
Oh my God!
But placenta is good to wash your hair with. I've heard. Now that is what I've heard about placenta.
Well, I'm back.
Okay.
In Baltimore.
It really is a northern thing. And here's the funny thing about it if you go out west and you actually ask still for salt for your grits, they look at you like you got 2 heads.
And look at me like I got 2 heads. Give me some salt. Give me some.
I don't listen to nobody who calls soda pop. Okay, I don't. No. So
yeah, fizz.
Yes, this say afterbirth. I said it,
I
but
swear
that's
I was so offended. I really was. I was. Oh.
Plus, I'm about to say placenta.
Polenta.
Polenta.
The word is polenta. The word of the day is polenta.
Okay, just
now y'all got me thinking it's like
polenta
tofu.
is more of a mushy thing, but you could treat it like grit. So use oatmeal without the oatmeal flavor. So let me just separate the two.
So cream of wheat.
Thank you, cream of. That's what it is. It's more of a texture of cream of wheat, but
that
you
nasty
treat it
too.
like grits.
Now cream of wheat is disgusting.
Like you treat it exactly like grits.
Well, polenta is good.
I
Y'all missing something because boy, you put some fish and you put some shrimp and grits on a. Oh, that's gone.
Okay.
Destroyed.
Tracy, bacon, sausage, egg.
I don't like eggs.
Liver mush, even.
Who? What? What is that? What was that last thing you said, sir?
Yeah,
what
what's
is
the
that,
last
sir?
name?
Liver mush? Liver
What? I'm
mush?
sorry,
What
sir.
is
Those are
that?
2 words that should never be together, and
Yeah,
I've never
liver
heard
and
them
mush.
hanging out that way.
Are you talking about liverwurst?
No, liver mush, not liver worse.
What part of mush and liver
Liver
came
go
together to
together. I'm
sound
like,
good?
huh?
I'm not doing that, sir.
Y'all are
I'm from the
killing
northern half of the
me.
United. I live in the Midwest.
You know, Joy, we call those cannibals.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
But some people do wash their hair with placenta. I've heard many of pregnant women say they ask for their placenta so they can wash their hair with it.
That's all right. I don't need nothing bloody in my hair. You know what? I'm just,
Yeah, exactly.
nuts
No,
and
it-
berries. That's
look.
just all right. It's just,
It could be. I would treat this like chitlins. I know it's clean. I also know where it came from.
Yep.
I'm not bothering with it.
And if you paid me $5,000,
No,
I might. If it was $5,000 laid out in front of me and they said eat this bowl of chitlins, I might. If the money was just like right there in front of me, and they deposited it after I ate that first bite.
see,
I might.
yeah.
So am I, Joe. I'm allergic to shrimp. I'm allergic to shellfish.
That's so unfortunate.
Yeah,
I eat
because
shrimp
that's
literally
shrimp.
every day.
Oh, that who? You
I
put
live
that
on
with
shrimp.
some grits, and then you put some cheese on them grits.
Them little sea roaches, man, I eat them every day.
But don't get it twisted. Fish, period, does not belong in grits, including salmon.
What? You
You
haven't
can
had
have
the
fried fish
crawtator.
and some.
You haven't had the crawtator meal, man. That's like I said, it's got a layer of the yellow grit, and it has the spinach and the grouper. It's like fried grouper, and it has the what's some little things I said, the crawfish, and it has a special like Louisiana sauce on it. Oh man, it's so good.
Now that's what I don't like. Is
grits or fish.
Grits and fish.
Not
and because you can have fried fish with some grits. Oh, that's
the only
life.
place grits belong is in the dish that I have outlined for you folks. Any other place, it deserves to be in the trash.
Nope, wrong. Yeah, but Mickey, you gotta add. It's just like why I don't like eggs. You gotta add so many things to eggs. I'm like, it literally tastes like air to me. I cannot stand eggs.
Add cheese to it and you're done.
No, I don't like eggs with cheese. I
What
don't
you
like
mean?
cheese.
Add a bunch of stuff. I have salt.
You gotta
pepper,
add salt,
and cheese.
pepper, green peppers, red pepper. Like how much
No,
stuff you add to
an
this?
omelet.
That's
I love
nasty
omelets.
too.
I eat omelets
can't
almost
stand
every day.
eggs.
I
If
do
y'all- if
either
y'all-
meat lovers or cheese.
If y'all ever come to my house, y'all not gonna be eating no eggs up in my house.
I take some mushrooms,
Oh, that's the other thing that's
some
disgusting.
bell peppers, some red onions, and some shrimp, and I fry all that all up, or saute that all up, and then I put that in my cheese omelet and fold it up. Oh, it's so wonderful.
Eggs are disgusting. I cannot stand.
And I
it.
can't even
Yes,
say nothing
Louisiana
about it
Creole
because
food is
my
delicious.
wife does not eat the yolk of an egg. She literally thinks that's absolutely disgusting.
I
She
think
will
the whole
not
egg
eat-
is
she will not
disgusting.
eat the
I ain't
yolk at
baking
all.
nothing.
Well,
If
see,
I'm
to me,
baking
like-
something, I'll go buy some eggs. If I'm not, oh well.
I don't understand how people eat like, because what they do is they get the egg and they separate the yolk from the white part, so they have like an all white omelet or whatever. And I'm like, you just threw away 2/3 of the egg.
You threw away the flavor of the egg.
2/3 of the egg gone.
You think that you think the egg white actually have flavor?
And how many eggs did you have to waste to get enough whites to make what you're after? It's just I don't take the whole
you
thing
can
and
mess
whip
me
it up.
with them eggs. They just like mess me. I
So
don't care.
you go to New Orleans, your wish will come true.
I've never been to New Orleans. I got to go one day.
I'll go, but I would never go in Mardi Gras ever.
Oh no, that's just a big old mistake. That's just a big, huge mistake.
Well, I don't like crowds.
The older I get, the
I
less
don't like
wanna go.
crowds. I'm like, why y'all gotta lift y'all shirts to get some beads? That's stupid.
Hey, I support people's freedom.
I support the freedom of,
and I think
whatever
that's a
you feel like
woman's
you can
choice,
do.
and she
No,
should be able
but
to
I
do
see
whatever
men doing it
she
too.
wants to do. Well, if that's what they want to do, express themselves. Be you. Be you. Be free. do you? Free
Yeah.
the tatas. Save the tatas.
Yeah. If some of these men would make, shut up, Tracy. I'm not gonna call
Look,
a man with man.
look.
I'm not gonna do it.
Let's just be totally honest. There are some women out there when they lift their shirt. Down. So you do you.
Yeah, when I lived in Germany and I saw my first nude beach, I realized that the people you would like to go to the nude beach aren't the people who go to the nude beach.
Be all kind of people. People look like me showing up. You don't want to see that.
You don't want to be able to say, "Hey, Nana, Nana, is that? Oh, I got mentals."
When you people have this fantasy, and rightfully so. I'm not picking on you, but you hear nude beach, and all of a sudden you feel like you're going to see a whole bunch of 20 and 30-year-olds.
Yeah, you're gonna see a bunch of 50 and 60-year-olds.
That's the only people that's on that nude beach.
Yeah, you're gonna see a bunch of old people that should have clothes on.
You're gonna see some very veterans on that beach.
Yes, it's like the people we want to be naked are never naked, and the people that we don't want naked are just walking around just showing it all off.
Mickey's something else, bro.
Some of us don't got nothing to lift our shirts for because they're gonna be like, "What am I looking at?" But that's just us. That's just a small top club. It's some of us out there.
You used a yolk for mayonnaise.
Now that's true.
Well, that's a crime against nature in all things culinary.
You use yolk for mayonnaise, period.
Mayonnaise shouldn't be a thing.
Mayonnaise.
But mayonnaise is good on a sandwich, though. You put it on some bread.
Mayonnaise is a thing, and it's delicious.
Did you take it? It's not delicious.
Mayonnaise is a thing, and it's delicious.
He just took
He gonna take us down.
Mayonnaise is a thing, and it's delicious.
Somebody send him some Miracle Whip for Christmas.
Thank you, because he's
Miracle Whip is not mayonnaise.
Boy, you keeping it petty.
I'm telling you, boy.
I mean, boy, you petty. I thought I was petty.
Mayonnaise. That's what
you
happened.
petty.
Hey, it's gonna get worse in 2022. My brother went to the new beach for the first time when he was 50.
Nobody in their 20s and their 30s goes to a new beach. And I don't know.
You're right, Joy. Leave
it alone. Don't buy it.
Alone.
Don't buy it. Don't
leave it alone.
Yep, don't buy it.
Mayonnaise is delicious. Thank you, Joy, for your comment.
See,
but she agreed with us.
Yeah.
So you two don't like salads, like
I don't like macaroni salad.
Oh, you put macaroni salad anywhere near me?
I honestly don't do macaroni salad.
No, macaroni and cheese.
And by the way, it may be actually either A, a Southern thing, or B, it's the family that I grew up with. It's not what you think it is. It's not macaroni salad with the mayonnaise and the stuff like that. As of lately, it's been literally salad dressing.
I've seen that, the oily version.
Italian salad.
That's nasty too. I don't want that
no, that's
now wait a minute.
Somebody always bring that to the potluck, and I'd be looking at them like,
"Thank you, Mickey."
No, it's not Miracle Whip.
Miracle Whip is disgusting.
Miracle Whip is mayonnaise.
Miracle
Same
Whip
thing.
Miracle Whip is disgusting. You have something to say, Tracy?
You just keeping it petty. That's all I got. Petty. Just taking people down because they don't agree with them. Yeah. Petty.
It's all right. Some people can't handle the truth, man.
Miracle Whip is disgusting. Miracle Whip is not mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is mayonnaise. Duke mayonnaise is mayonnaise. It's not Miracle Whip.
Okay, then why do they sell it in the same aisle and be like right next to each other?
Okay, why Tracy is still arguing with me?
Because misery likes company.
Sorry. Why is Tracy still arguing with me when I said that Miracle Whip is not mayonnaise?
My original question hasn't gone off the table.
But you have.
Petty. He is petty, y'all. No, he wrong. They keep it in. Are you gonna tell me they don't put it in the same aisle?
They can put it in the same aisle. Doesn't mean it's the same.
Yo,
Why are they both white?
Tracy, check this out. Miracle Whip was originally developed as a cheaper alternative to mayo. It contains the same ingredients, but less oil.
Yeah, it's just oil. That's the only difference between the two.
And apparently, it's the oil that makes it.
But Miracle Whip has more sugar and spices.
He's gonna take us down.
I'm trying to figure out.
There's no difference.
Here's the thing that's funny to me. In this description, first they call mayonnaise a tangy, creamy.
No, they don't sell all condiments together. No, they don't.
Thank you very much. So
no, they don't.
And mustard sold beside each other. Is ketchup the same thing as mustard?
No, they don't sell all condiments on the same.
They got their own shelf or their own section.
Yeah, they got their own section.
But what our point is, who thinks mayonnaise is tangy, and who thinks Miracle Whip has spices?
Thank you. Oh.
And nobody wants it.
Mustard and honey mustard are basically the same thing. They're both mustard.
They're right next to each other. Thank you.
But
Nikki.
they're similar. We're just saying that Miracle Whip and mayonnaise are similar.
Apparently, Miracle Whip is just a sweeter mayonnaise.
Yeah, it's just a sweeter mayonnaise. Like, oh, they're different.
Less oil and more vinegar. Yes, Miracle Whip is.
Why are they both white?
Practically,
they're both mayonnaise.
Well, you must not have texted anything.
Yeah, because we didn't see it.
I didn't read anything in Dutch.
Yep. You being real petty. Petty.
I will not be called petty on my show. I refuse to be. Look, we got but one more show actually now. I love Mickey.
Facts don't get. It's not a fact, Mickey. They got the same ingredients. The first 5 ingredients are exactly the same.
I just don't care about your feelings, Tracy.
That's like saying that this version of barbecue sauce is not barbecue sauce because it has smoky versus spicy. Both barbecue sauce. They're both mayo.
Exactly. Just say it. Mayonnaise and Miracle Whip are the same thing.
You ain't right. You ain't
He
right.
better be lucky that
Hashtag let Tracy speak.
Oh God, I'm gonna miss y'all too. So since we got about 3 minutes left, so let me catch up on what's going on tomorrow. Tomorrow's a year in review. It's going to be a little deeper than today's show because we're going to have to get into Trump. We're going to have to get into white supremacy. We're going to have to get into the COVID situation. Margie Taylor Greene, Goldberg, what's my boy Cruz leaving Texas in the freezing cold and don't give a damn.
Lawthorne or whatever his name is.
Lawthorne and all of them. I'm going to try to keep it as light as I can because it is our last show and we're done for the year.
Hey, don't they call them like the Al Qaeda No, when they're insulting Ilhan Omar, they call the Al Qaeda conference or something. But when it's the insurrectionists, they have their own thing they're called too, right?
Patriots.
Yeah.
No, like there's a like they're called the insurrectionist committee or something. I don't know. Anyway, sorry, Marlon.
Mickey, at this, I get what you're saying, but at this point in time, what's the difference? And I'm not jumping on you, Mickey. I'm really not. But at this point in time, what's the difference between Bobert, Gomer, Gosar, and Marjorie Taylor Greene? Just tell me what's the difference between the four. And that's 4 different people.
And Kennedy.
What's
and
the
Gates.
freaking difference between them? Because I can literally say Bobert, and she no. I can say Marjorie Taylor Greene. That would be more realistic. I can say Marjorie Taylor Greene, and she represents all those 4 people.
Well, Bobert's cute.
She's well. She ain't nothing
I ain't say she
special.
was pretty. She's cute.
Marjorie Taylor Greene is Marjorie Taylor Greene is no Marjorie Taylor
I'm gonna
Greene.
let y'all argue over that.
No.
I won't
Taylor
talk about a
Greene
woman's
is a
looks.
good looking white woman.
On what scale, though?
It depends on what angle they take that picture on, brother.
Marjorie Taylor Greene is a good looking white woman. The problem is I don't go for looks, so as soon as they open their mouth, all of them are.
But she's not even
unattractive to
her
me.
nor Bobert are. I'm not saying this as a purely heterosexual woman. Neither of them is nah. I can name 10 people that looks better than them two.
I'm not saying there's not people who look better. I'm saying that Bobert is attractive. She's just loony. Marjorie.
I think Marjorie is a good looking white woman.
I've never seen Paris, but she looked like her daddy.
Mouth, she just looked.
You should never seen her parents, but you look like her daddy.
What did you say?
He said, "Say that again, Fizz."
I said I have never seen her parents, but she looked like her daddy.
So women are ugly who look like their daddy?
No, that's just a really strong bloodline. That's
Because some people say I look like my father.
Well, your daddy must be an attractive man. I'm saying she definitely looked like her daddy. She's got that rugged look to her.
Marjorie is not cute at all.
Thank you.
Is, but not.
Thank you, Joy.
To each their own.
I guess, but I'm like, I don't see it in either one of them. I'm more for the Nina Turner, Corey Bush type ladies, but that's just me.
I'm not saying what I want to date. I'm just saying.
You're not saying. I'm not saying.
Whoa. Hold up.
I'm saying objectively.
I said they were attractive. I have no desire whatsoever to even hold a conversation.
I agree.
Them.
I'm saying purely aesthetics. Purely aesthetics.
Yeah, we're just going off aesthetics.
But did they say
and
that
Laura
about,
Boebert, her teeth are funny. I'm like, girl, do something with that
what's
mouth.
What's the boy's name in Florida? Matt Gates.
No, he looks like a big bobblehead.
He's supposed to be handsome and everything.
And whose book?
Well, I was watching a progressive women's thingy. I can't remember who they are, but you know, it's the people who used to be on Obama's thing. They on Crooked Media or something, and they were talking about like he was doable or whatever. I don't see it. I'm not attracted to men, so I don't see what
you know what
people see anyway.
Okay, so now I'm going to answer for both of y'all. What kind of taste them women have to say they look?
Well, they didn't say they wanted him. They were doing the whole.
He's not attractive on any level.
The thing is, we have to be real careful when we say stuff like that because when we're coming for physical attraction, but we're in a different circle. We know who these people are.
Yep.
So when we look at them, it's like you're disgusting.
Yeah, because like on paper, I would say that Obama is an attractive looking man. I would just say that.
Well, he's attractive enough that I can say that he's an attractive man, and I don't even like men. But what I'm saying is,
but then you know who he is. It's like,
but I
wait
know.
a minute.
See, I say beauty is skin deep, but ugliest to the bone. There are some things that you can look at and be like, "Yo, you have an acquired taste."
Sure do.
You know what I'm saying? When I look at Marjorie, I'm like, maybe you looked different before. But right now, all I see is your Uncle Pete. So
I don't
that
see
works
it.
for some people.
And Matt Gaetz, like his ears are, but his face, Joy, his face, not his ears.
I wish the worst thing I can say about me is my ears.
then we meet and talk with them. They're ugly about exactly.
That's true, Mickey.
Right,
I agree.
right.
We all
Personality will
agree
kill
with
anything.
you.
We
just going off the thing and saying she looked like her daddy. I'm like, really?
God. Once you get to know that person, no matter how attractive they are, like for instance, like Trump's daughter.
Ivanka.
I didn't even go that far. Trump's wife, who they love and adore, and I just go, yeah, she good looking, but yeah.
She just reminds me of that character on Bullwinkle and Rocky. Bullwinkle.
Well, you're
and Rocky
stereotyping her because she's Eastern European.
I sure am, and that's sad.
He does. He really does.
Gosh, he does.
That's why him and Marjorie got so offended when someone insulted Neanderthals, because they are straight out of Cro-Magnon.
I love Mickey. I love Mickey.
Mickey, this is wow, Mickey.
I love Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Love you.
Yeah, now, if I look at Michelle Obama, I would say she's an attractive woman. She's a very attractive woman. She's got a nice build. I'm aspiring to be, more closer to her shape.
Yeah, I'm the complete opposite. Michelle was okay.
She's way prettier than Melania. Way prettier.
See, now you're comparing people.
I know.
don't think that's
Let's not do that, because when the last time we actually had a good-looking first lady? Jackie Kennedy?
I don't think Michelle Obama is ugly.
No, he's saying before the Obamas.
Before Obama.
Oh, yeah.
Jackie Kennedy?
You could say Nancy. Well, I learned some stuff about Nancy Reagan.
No, because Nancy.
What's so bad about what you heard about Nancy?
I caught Nancy at the end.
Nancy took care of her husband.
Well, you don't. Let's put it like this, and I know Mickey's on here because she'll back me up. Nancy was known as the Monica Lewinsky of her day when she was an actress.
Okay. I'm not criminalizing nobody for this.
I'm not criminalizing. I'm just saying.
Hey, it got her to the White House.
Yep, sure helped her pick a winner.
So, look, we already had we had. I ain't gonna say no names, so you can't push the button to say, "Hey, you said something against our community." YouTube. We had a prostitute in the White House.
Who? John F. Kennedy?
Melania. She
Not
had,
no names.
Oh, sorry. Melanie. I'll call her Melanie. Melanie took a picture with her making out with another woman.
So I don't even want to hear about anything about what other women
and she was known to have sold herself to advance to the state that she is in now.
You can say that about a lot of people.
But
we only hold that against one gender.
Well, yeah,
happens on both sides, but we only hold that against one gender identity. That's kind of like when we talk about, I know it's a weird transition, but when we talk about Hillary Clinton and the 94 crime bill, I don't like her for the statements that she made, but I'm not going to hold her accountable for her husband.
Keep talking.
But she ends up catching so much heat just because she is a woman. Like right now, all this criticism that's going towards Kamala Harris. Everybody's running Kamala Harris into the dirt. But you know what? We wouldn't give that same criticism if it was a dude. We would just be saying, well, where is Mr. So-and-so? But that'd be as far as it goes. But we wouldn't be tearing them apart. And proof is they didn't tear Pence apart. They just criticized him from here and there. Where was he? And moved on. But for Harris, she's responsible for the whole administration going to poop.
And there's talks of her of not being the Democratic nominee. But I just say, hey, that's
I already
just
knew that was going. I knew that was.
I'm like, that's just what you get for putting black people in jail at race that you shouldn't have. But hey, that's just me because karma is a trip.
Now I have to stand up for somebody I don't like. I don't like karma.
Like no.
So the thing about it is, part of what I was just pointing out about the disparate treatment for her just being a woman. So there, I'm not really going to go at her. Then on top of that, she was used as a token by this administration to gather votes.
Absolutely.
So they used her to get the black vote and to get the Asian vote and to get the immigrant vote. So being that they used her and then promptly put her on a shelf so that they will only bring her out for target practice makes it so I can't attack her. I cannot attack Kamala.
Yeah, because Joe Biden is setting her up for failure.
Right. She built her career playing the game the way the game is. I can't blame anyone for doing that outside of where my moral conflicts come in. But I'm just saying, to get where she is, she had to do whatever it is that she decided to do to get there. And that means there's going to be good decisions and bad decisions all through her record. But she gets treated so much harsher than her white counterparts. And that bothers me more than her playing dress up to appeal to us bothers me, right? And then like Biden goes in saying, I'm going to be a transitional president. And then all of a sudden now he's going to be a transformational president. Hold up, buddy. That's not what you ran on. You were supposed to be the bridge between crazy and less crazy, so that then Kamala, because this was something they didn't say outright, but they definitely sold it to us.
Yeah, they suggest she's the next in line. She would be the
one to step in, right?
Yeah, they sold it to us that she'd be the next in line. She's the next one to get the nomination.
They let us believe that was part of the plan. But in all these things, ego is always still a thing. So what they're setting up right now, which is why your friend Hillary's back in the limelight, is to create an environment where
first of all, we're not gonna call Hillary my friend on no scale is we ever gonna call Hillary my friend. She is no friend of mine. But yeah, I agree with you. They're setting her up for failure.
Right.
But
because
she
they're
knew
not giving her anything that she can work with.
And then the things that they gave her.
You know,
I've
heard that.
They said go solve the world.
Times, but
yeah, they was like, here's nuclear disarmament taken.
But what do the vice president actually do?
Whatever the president says.
They're the statesmen. They go do public appearances.
If it wasn't for Obama, would we even know who Biden was, other than the?
Well, I knew who Biden was when he was making gaffes about Obama being black. Like everybody just forgot he made those statements.
But the other thing is Biden, because of they used every vice president is a tactical pick. Right?
Yeah.
So Biden was used because he could talk to Congress, and he tried, and he was instrumental in helping with the financial bailout thing. Cool, I'm with you on all that stuff because he has deep connections in the banking world, which is why they got sweetheart deals. But
yeah,
that's that part. Kamala was used purely for identity politics, and then having done what they wanted her to do, they don't have much use for her.
They don't have any use for her anymore.
So they won't let her do anything. Like if I know I'm not practiced in the arts, but I'm just looking at, you have Kamala Harris fresh out of the current Congress.
Yep.
High name ID. For all of your misgivings for her, she is a very accomplished prosecutor and knows how to argue her case.
She sure does.
And instead of using her
and her gifts, because she does have
right, she should be the one negotiating things with Congress, taking a front seat of talking about those things. But that would make Biden.
But
Biden would look less.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Is anybody that believes that Biden isn't going to run again? I got the planet Saturn to sell you. He's definitely running again.
I don't think Biden knows he's not running again. See,
this
is his first year.
Biden's already said that he's running again.
Yes, he's already said he's
That's
going
my
to
point.
do it again.
He doesn't know he ain't running again. See, a year in the presidency is like 3 years anywhere else.
True.
So this is only the first year. By the end of next year, that man gonna be run down so hard.
But he should be smart enough to figure out, hey, I got this talented vice president. Why don't I do
That's not the game.
I would literally agree with you, Theas, if it wasn't for the fact that Biden has been in this game for so long.
He sure has.
A year
My whole
would be
life.
a year to Biden.
It's a different thing.
There
It's
is
a
nothing
different
under
thing
the
being a
sun
president.
that Biden has not already seen, heard of or it has done.
I'm 100% with you. But what I'm saying is it's still a different game in that chair. So he's not doing this as a 70-year-old. He's doing this as a dude who's almost 80. Okay. So I think right now he fully believes he's going to run, and he's running everything exactly that way. My problem is he set this up and he allowed it to be set up in a way that he was supposed to be transitional, which means you should have been putting Kamala in place to be able to be visible on some gimme items.
But he wouldn't do that. He's not going to do that.
But he should, because
He should.
you don't have to make, she shouldn't outshine you. You're the president. But you give her a couple of wins so that the population gets used to seeing her in action, but still second to you. So then if you run again, now you have a strong team.
Yep.
If you don't run again, then we feel more comfortable picking her. But what he's setting up right now is he is thinking
bigger.
We won't. Well, I think what's going to happen is either we won't have any choice because he'll string us along so long that other contenders can't get in the game. So then she's the only one left. You know what I mean? Because they need a couple years to get their donors in place and all that stuff, right? Well, if he's running like he's going to run again, you just froze the field. Nobody new can come in.
No.
So then it's only him and Kamala. If something happens to him, then Kamala takes over. But that's a really risky play given his age, and I don't know what his health is. But if he tries to tip his hat next year, that's what I'm looking for. If next year he tips his hat to indicate that he's not necessarily gonna run again, that's when you know the Democratic Party has decided that they want someone other than Kamala as backup.
Oh, they definitely do. I mean, there's talk of Pete Buttigieg, who, not because of his lifestyle, but because of what he did in South Bend, I can't with him. I can't with him because I still keep asking the question.
If y'all are dumb enough to try to put Pete Buttigieg,
that's a death sentence.
Dumbest.
Yeah, that won't work.
That ain't
not in
never
this country,
work in a
and not
years.
well. Mostly because he's gay. Most people gonna be like, nope.
I say it won't work.
It ain't got nothing to do with being gay.
What
it
it
has everything
is
to do with he doesn't have the. And unfortunately, I have to say this, but until we change as an American society, he's not charismatic enough.
He sure
to
is.
become
He has
president of the United
He
States.
has
He's
no
smart.
charisma.
He's smart, but you don't look at him and see tough. You don't look at him
Even
and
though
see,
he was in the military.
Well, I mean, that don't make
No,
you
they got
tough.
nothing to do with it. I'm just saying we still live in a society where somebody has to have the charismatic movie style, TV style at the very least.
Biden doesn't have that either.
Biden did actually have that when he was with Obama. Yes, he did.
When was he with Obama? But right now, nah.
All the times when
right
they
now, all he
did
had to do
videos
was
of
not be
him wearing
Trump.
the shades and yeah, Obama, let's go do
I'll
everything.
take you to
He
behind the
built
shed.
that over the Biden definitely did.
Yeah.
Buttigieg chance does not.
But I think that where it would be suicide is you have Kamala Harris. She would be the first woman of color, whatever that term means, to be running for president.
And Asian.
So you're telling me,
Well,
not
no,
you,
that would be Shirley Chisholm.
they don't think about Shirley Chisholm.
Shirley
And she was a black
Chisholm was-
woman.
They ain't gonna think
She was
that
a
far.
black
Shirley
woman.
Chisholm was the first woman of color to run.
We know
I'm just
that.
out here
We
just
know
saying
that,
facts.
Tracy, but it's a different situation.
Mickey,
We're talking about
Nina
the
can
vice
actually
president.
get into Congress.
Yes, Nina.
Or the House.
Yes,
or
now
something
that
else.
I agree with you, Mickey.
On
Absolutely.
what basis?
Absolutely. She's charismatic.
Until
She's
she
smart.
can get into the House or Congress.
Or a
please,
governorship
with
or a
something.
mayorship.
Let's know that we're not going to go with this Nina for president thing.
I'ma
I'm
keep
not
on.
degrading Nina
I'ma
at
keep
all.
saying it.
Nina has all the tools to be a great
If
president.
you talk about somebody that doesn't care, that will say what she thinks, Oh yeah, that's it. Yes.
That's not the qualification for being the
That ain't what we-
president.
Don't care.
Absolutely.
She won't take campaign finance money. She won't. I'm like, yes.
Which is why she won't be president.
Yep.
Nah, I'm gonna have to agree with Mickey on
People,
this.
I mean, I feel it, I get it, but folks just be talking out of
Tracy,
their
this is
emotions,
my
man.
deal. Separate what should and what is.
Exactly.
What should happen is Nina Turner. What should happen is Harris. What should happen is AOC. Freak AOC. What is no.
But when are we gonna aspire to do better than what we're doing?
Aspire takes action and planning more than just wants and dreams.
That's
Thank
all
you,
it is.
Mickey. She with me.
I'm with you.
Yeah, we're with you. We're just
being
saying
realistic. We're just being realistic.
Hey, what was
We live in a reality TV society.
And when they stabbed Nina in the back,
which is what they did.
right? What was the response?
Hey, Hillary.
Where was
No,
the
that was Jill
response?
Clyburn.
No, but I'm just saying,
when
that happened,
Hillary voted against her. Hillary voted for the other person. Well,
who was under investigation?
Not voted for, endorsed the other person.
Thank you. What Mickey just said. See, people want to look at what their aspirations are, and that's why they keep fooling us. They keep playing with our emotions. We keep saying what would feel good to us, but there's no track, there's no path laid out for this to happen.
And I agree with what Mickey just said. Trump ain't got a lick of experience. How he gonna be president?
And are you comparing a black woman to a white man in America for positions of power?
No. And what did Trump have in spades?
Fame.
Well, money.
Charisma, money.
Nina has charisma.
Not the same.
I'm just making a point.
But I don't agree with that point.
He had charisma. Sorry. Reality TV show. Everybody knew who Trump was before Trump even ran. Hell, how you think Arnold Schwarzenegger became governor of California?
Why do you think Dr. Oz might actually become a senator in Pennsylvania?
He was Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm with you as far as like if things were working the way the population might want it to be, then Elizabeth Warren would be president right now, in my opinion.
No, she would not. That would have been me saying, you know what? I'm gonna have to go with. Well, y'all know how I feel about Elizabeth. Yeah, Hillary, of course she did, because she used to be. Nina was a Hillary supporter, and then she switched her support to Bernie. Hillary is still blaming for her loss until this day.
Hillary is a corporate Democrat through and through. Nina is the farthest opposite you could possibly get to.
Nina is a change candidate. Hillary represents the ruling power.
Yep.
See, right now the Republicans have a ruling power, which is the Mitch McConnell class, and the Democrats have a ruling power, which is the Clinton class. And they just trade positions every couple of years, and they're okay with that because ultimately the biggest part of them is like overlapping in the big Venn diagram. So they don't care. They'll wait their turns. But then you have change candidates on the outside. On one side, you have the Trump people, and on the other side, you have the progressive type people. And these people are trying to force things to shift. So the ones who are used to running things for the last 60, 70 years, they ain't having that.
Yeah.
And they will make sure that they will block you or cheat you every which way.
They'll send Jim Clyburn to your district in a minute.
I said this a million times. I'll keep saying it because it's the way it is. It's not a window. We're chipping away.
Yep.
Slowly chipping away. And everybody will want things to change next year, year after, 2 years after, whatever. That's not going to happen.
Unless you have a revolution. In which case, we have to burn everything down, and that'd be a hot mess.
Chip away at certain things. Mark my words when I say this. If you want to look at an example of it, we would not ever, in my generation, just be realistic on it, okay? In my generation, you ain't getting a stimulus check. regardless of what the hell just happened. Because in my generation, it was still been pull yourself up by the bootstraps. You put yourself in this situation. If you was in a better situation, regardless of the pandemic, you would have been in a better position.
I'll take you one more. Back in 2012-ish, I had just started talking about reparations and things of that nature. And people like me who were starting to talk about reparations were laughed at. We were told that it would never happen. We were told that it's not even worth talking about and all of that things. Now, even though nothing has truly changed, now it's part of the common conversation and the discourse that just a couple years ago, no one said you could even talk about. So things change over time. My problem is I'm sick of progress. I'm sick of chipping around the edges. I want change. And that we're in a hole, like Marlon often points out. So where it's not going to change in 2 years, 4 years, or whatever, unless the amount of effort infinitely increases.
Yep.
But we can't do it because we spend all our time fussing about who is a good enough Democrat, who is a good enough progressive. You ain't gonna build nothing that way. We've already had this conversation about the depth of your bench. You got a thin bench. What you gonna do?
Exactly. You have to. The people are sick and tired of fighting. Stop fighting. Because I've said it once, I've said 1,000 times. It's easier to pick yourself off the ground than it is to dig yourself out of a hole. And that's what you're going to put yourself in because you're sick and tired of fighting.
You're just going to lay down and wait to be buried.
You're tired of this and you're sick and tired of that. Knock yourself out. Because all you're going to do, if you're sick and tired of fighting, is you're going to have your YouTube platform is going to blow up because you're going to have a ton of crap to complain about. A ton.
For the sports people out there, you think about it. You are the Atlanta Falcons, and you're playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and you're down by like 40 points in the second quarter. Now, you have a choice. You can be so frustrated that your quarterback isn't throwing the right routes and your receivers aren't catching the ball. And you can just be like, you know what? I'm not even going to try. When they break, just let them go. Whatever. You can do that. Or you can try to at least keep them from scoring another 40 points. But what we're dealing with right now is a bunch of belly aching crybaby wussies who are sitting out there talking about what they didn't get enough of and about to give up everything that they did get. That's my problem.
The New England Patriots, who we look at right now, just using your analogy, Theus, New England Patriots right now is one of the most dominant football teams in the NFL. Dominated at every record you could think of, Super Bowl wins, whatever you have. Yes. Keep constantly forgetting that years ago, the New England Patriots sucked rocks.
Terrible
team. Couldn't win a Super Bowl if you just walked up to them and handed them the Super Bowl ring. They would drop it. They did not quit. Now, if you want to go ahead and cry and ain't nothing going to get better, knock yourself out. I'm telling you what the end result is going to be. And all I'm going to do is look at you and nod my head like we're warning you what's going to happen if you stop fighting. We're warning you what's going to happen if you stop fighting. We're telling you what's going to happen if you stop fighting. We did not get everything that we want. Absolutely true. 100%. I absolutely agree with you. We did not get everything that we wanted. But we sure as hell got a lot more than we had in decades.
Yeah, but people are having trouble with that. One, because I think they're overly emotional.
Good night, Joy.
Good night, Joy. One, because I think they're overly emotional. And those emotions make you impatient.
That's true too.
Okay. That's cool. But what's your alternative? See, in that scenario, your offense is literally working against you, and all you can do is hope that your defense plays better.
That actually, Mickey, the way you're saying it, that actually is for our argument. Because you're actually saying that the offense is not protecting anybody, it turned against them, which is what we're trying to stop people from doing, is turning against the party. We're tackling and breaking the legs of our own party. So
and complaining that we ain't
gonna
playing
win
hard
now?
enough.
Do you think you're gonna win a game when when they say hype and the offensive line turn around and tackles the quarterback?
People don't actually. I think that the frustration is legitimate, and I think that the anger is legitimate. I'm just saying, is the direction that you're advocating for going to get you closer to what you want or further from what you want? That's my big thing.
And Mickey, I agree with you. That
Yeah, you get tired of
I
like,
don't want nobody to think that me and Theus is not sick of it. We're seeing the same stuff that we do. We agree with the whole, when I get elected, $2,000 check is going out the door. Here's your $1,400. We're not ignoring the fact that, dude, that is clearly not what
I'm
you
gonna
think.
cancel student
Know
loan
the
debt.
difference between 2,000 and 1,400.
We're Americans. We can't add.
We got the understanding of it. What we're saying is we just do not want to get to a close to the implication of saying you ain't done nothing for us and we ain't doing jack. I ain't going to the voting booths. I ain't going to vote for you. I ain't picking I'm not doing nothing. Whatever happens, happens. Ha ha ha. I'll show you. No, what you're gonna do is they're gonna show you.
Because you talk about the stimulus check, for example. Now you already know my stance about the 2000 thing. I think it's petty and childish, but still, would we have even gotten the 1,400 if the Republicans had won? And the answer is no. They didn't want to give you 600, so they weren't give you 14.
Exactly.
But
right?
That's what I think Mickey is talking about. Not to cut you off, these. I did not mean that. But what I think she's talking about is Susan said it better. Both parties are garbage. They are both garbage.
But which one is going to kill you?
And that's the argument. I guess I don't like that argument because I'm like, well, they both stink. So why should I vote for either?
Because one is going to kill you and the other one isn't.
It's not about how much you like it.
Just
I don't want you to like either one.
One party is going to kill you.
And I would just say to that, just vote for a third party.
No,
and
one party is not
will that
give you the card you
accomplish?
want. One party is not going to give you the car that they promise you. The other party is going to run you over with the car. That's the difference.
See, I give the argument, but I'm like, I see where Mickey's coming from, and I agree with her a lot.
No, I agree with the feeling, and I agree with the sentiment.
Because we can't.
They are not anyone's friends. All right.
Yeah, it's the corporate Democrats that I have. Thank you, Susan. She said it better than I could. It's like we keep saying vote the same way, and we want different results. If I keep voting corporate Democrats, I should have common sense enough to know I'm getting a Democrat that's going to advocate against Medicare for all. It's going to advocate against the cancellation of student loan debts because I keep voting these loser corporate Democrats in office.
You're better off chipping away at the Democratic Party than trying to chip
away. By primary them, I absolutely agree.
But argue.
Try to chip away at the Democratic Party, did you try to chip away, which is never going to happen, through the Republican Party?
Nobody said go through
Tracy,
the Republican.
if you were a decision maker in this whole situation, how hard would you fight for people who only criticize and tell you how pathetic you are?
I would like to think that I'm fighting for all my citizens equally, all my constituents. I like to think that.
Exactly. But you're human.
Yeah, I'm
you're human. And all you're catching is
we're not praising the Democratic Party. We're not.
That's kind of what I think
at all. We're not even saying you're doing I'm not saying great. We're not even saying the Democratic Party is doing an adequate job.
Nope.
They're not doing an adequate job.
But
We
you're
agree
saying
with they're
vote
not
for
doing an
them
adequate job.
anyway.
No, I'm saying vote for yourself. That's
Vote
what I'm
for
saying. And that's what I
your
wish people would
interest.
actually hear. People are
Okay.
so stuck on party politics that they're getting in their own way. I'm saying vote for your interests.
Okay, now
And you have a certain plate in front of you. And if you want to change what's served on that plate, that happens way before the elections. That's you deciding to run for office, or you deciding to support specific candidates and build a mass around them so they can run for office. That's changing who your options are on the primary ballot. That's how you change what's being served to you. But if we haven't done the work to do that, which takes years, especially with all the money in the game that's going on, takes years.
Yeah, but look what happened. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So in the interim, what you have to do is you have to live in the world that you're in. And the world that we're in hands you two crappy options.
Yeah,
but one crappy option wants to take away your ability to feed yourself, take away your right for autonomy when it comes to childbirth and things of that nature, who want to take away your ability to even participate by voting, right? Who wants to take everything.
Who wants to erase history.
Right? So you got one side that's literally trying to take things from you, and then you have another side that's not giving enough to you. And I cannot understand any adult who can honestly look at that and say, they're both the same.
It's the corporate money. I think
What's
that's
the
what
corporate
we said.
money.
No, I think what you guys are missing is what we're saying. I'll give you
The
a good
corporate money
primary.
is Citizens United, right?
Yes.
How do you get rid of Citizens United?
You overturn it in the courts, or you pass legislation.
Right. Now, in order to change it in the courts, who has to be the president? It ain't gonna be a conservative.
Yeah, that's true. I was gonna say.
And in order to get new legislation, who got to be in the Congress? Can't be them conservatives. So the only team that's even halfway listening to you is the same team that you're dogging out every day and then complaining that the result ain't working right. If what you want is those things, play the game to get those things.
But see, here's where I'm going to argue back, and I'm not disagreeing with everything you're saying.
I love this.
Go ahead.
But I'm saying, look
good.
at somebody like India Walton, who primaried Byron Brown. She primaried him. She beat him. And the Democrats said, oh, no, we're not going to have none of that. What we're going to do is we're going to send in y'all man Jim Clyburn, and we're going to get all the Democrats behind her. So my point is, what good does it do to primary?
So then the responses give up.
No,
I'm not even
I'm just saying, what's the point of keep fighting against a corporate party that's going to keep doing the same things
now
over and over?
you know what's against you, and you craft a new plan on how to overcome that.
See,
the answer is not to say it's so rigged, I'm not even going to bother playing.
I didn't say don't bother playing. I said have you beat the
This
system.
has always been the Democratic problem from the beginning. You try to play fair. You try to play by the rules. How many times have we have to tell you it doesn't work? It doesn't. You lose.
You play by the rules that will take to win.
That's
what you do.
Do what they do. And that's what Theus and I have been saying. Well, Theus more than me is you're trying to find the perfect Democrat to do.
There's
for
no
the
such
people.
thing.
Cool by y'all. We're gonna do everything. We're gonna out for the people. Wait a minute. You didn't pay your taxes in 2012. Nope, you gone.
No, that's such a mischaracterization of what we're saying. That's
but
just
hold on, Theus, because I don't.
That's a mischaracterization. Because what we're saying is, and I know Mickey's saying this, and I'm saying it too. We are not tired of all Democrats because we love Cori Bush, we love Nina, we love AOC, we love Ilhan Presley, we love Rashida Tlaib. We tired of the corporate Democrats that will tell us that if Medicare for all gets to my desk, I'm gonna veto it. And you seeing millions of people out here going bankrupt because they have a medical condition. I can't fathom that in my mind. It just don't make sense to me.
So check this out though. The voting participation rate in America is what, in the 30s, 40s percentiles?
It's
right?
not even
They're
that
like,
high.
They're like stupid low, right? So the party apparatus on both sides, but we're talking about the Democrats right now. It relies on that low base, but a high percentage of that number appealing to what they want to do, right? So if that is truly the frustration, then it's on y'all, it's on us to get more people engaged to come out and vote. If you move that 30% to 50%, right? There's still a lot of people who ain't voting, but you've moved that bar up. It will overcome whatever little games they have going on. But the reason why that is so hard to do,
Right,
well,
because people look at the symptom and say, what for?
Yes, they will say, what for? And the people that they're going to ask are people who are going to look at them and say, well, India lost up here when the party turned against them, and Biden said that he was going to give us $2,000 and he didn't do it. And what kind of motivation is that? How you gonna get the numbers up?
You're actually making my point for me. It's hard to convince a person that doesn't vote to vote.
But if I'm listening to the way you talk about it, I wouldn't be motivated.
I grew up with this argument. I grew up with all my childhood. Well, not childhood. Well, no, I take that back. All my childhood and up to the point I was voting. That they purposely put in your head, my vote don't count.
I never said that either.
No, I'm not saying you did. I'm not saying you did. But
we're talking positions, not individuals.
But it does add to the argument of what this was saying. They see somebody else who worked hard, who did the right things, blah, 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 and everything else, and they didn't get voted in. This person did the right thing. They did what they were supposed to do. They was doing it for the people. They didn't get voted in. This person said he was going to do for the people and everything else. They didn't get voted in. Who get voted in? The people who done the complete opposite. So when that trickles down to you, you start thinking in your head, well, damn, maybe my vote don't count. Why would I waste my Saturday going to stand in line to do something that means at the end absolutely nothing? So I know I'm not going to do it. This is the argument.
You're creating a future that you say you don't want.
This is the argument that I'm having. If your vote didn't count, why is the Republicans working overtime to take your vote away?
But here's my other question for you. Why aren't the Democrats suspending the filibuster to ensure that voting rights pass?
Because we're not in the primaries yet. It's a game. It's a game.
Because we know that you can.
Because
they suspended that filibuster real well last week when they passed that. I'm like, so you can suspend the filibuster.
Because there was a crisis moment.
Yeah, that was a crisis.
And voters' rights is not a.
It's not a crisis
yet.
It's not a crisis.
Yeah, no, it's a crisis now. Come on.
It is. No.
See,
crisis
once again,
crisis yet. I'm not saying you're.
I'm sorry,
Tracy. The deal is this. Put yourself, and this is a compliment, so don't take it as an insult at all. You're too smart. You know where the bodies are buried. All of us do on here. So we know too much. We're talking to the normal men and women. Why they not doing it? Because it's not a crisis yet.
But when
it's an issue.
Yeah, it's an issue because I believe in being I don't like to be reactionary at all. I hate when we react to things.
You're in the wrong country.
I know, but I want to be proactive. The
position you're advocating for is actually reactionary.
No, I want to say
we react to everything.
I'm reading what Mickey says, but what I guess I'm saying is I personally don't. I think ensuring voter rights, getting rid of this renewing black people's rights or people of color rights to vote every 25 years, make it permanent. Do it right now. If you over 18, you get to vote. No ifs, no ands, no buts, and that's it, and we done.
But you're expecting decent people. I mean, I'm sorry. You're
I'm
expecting
expecting indecent
indecent people to do a decent thing.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay,
It's not life.
and
That's
what
not
is
reality.
and you know what's going to happen when the Democrats lose, because they will. They're going
Is
to
that
lose.
what you want?
I don't want it to happen, but I can see the handwriting on the wall.
Why do you see that as the outcome?
You're not looking in terms of the regular Congress. I mean, not to say it that way.
The fact that the Democratic Party could lose the House and or Senate
Oh, I'm thinking they're going
to
lose
a
both.
party that recently led an insurrection.
It's within the realm of possibility.
Let's move the timetable up.
I don't want the Republicans in charge. I absolutely don't want Kevin McCarthy to be. No.
What in your approach is obstructing
the Democrats right now have the phone records of the insurrection,
and they'll use that as commercial bait all the way through next year.
There are numbers.
Yeah, those are going to come out during the primaries. Oh,
There are messages that's been done that don't have names and numbers attached to it. You know why they don't have name and numbers attached to it?
They're burner phones.
No,
they want to use it later.
No, they have the number. Burner phones is a great little storyline for military TV shows. Trust me, you can find names and numbers of burner phones. They're holding on to it because guess who decided to teach the Democrats how to play the game?
Yeah, they just don't play it very well. So they're still going to screw it up.
And Liz Cheney sat there and said, shut. We got the numbers and we can release it right now. And Liz Cheney told the Democratic Party, shut up.
Yeah, let me show you how you do this thing.
Freaking early. Shut up. If I have to take the numbers and names away from you and hold it in my back pocket till we actually really need it, I will. It's a game. It is too early to release any of this information. Why? Because let's say they release
by next week.
January. People will forget it by the 1st of March.
Yeah, they got to pull it out in July or August. No, wait a minute.
But the thing is,
primary votes are May. Primaries are always in May.
But the primaries aren't going to be where the real game is played either. They're going to wait till the actual we get closer to the actual vote. But
y'all okay with this, right? I'm just want to make sure.
Okay with what?
That them holding it back.
Oh, I could care less.
Okay, just want to make sure we all on the same page.
I'm literally okay with it.
Yeah, I could care less.
Okay, just want to make sure we all three on the same page.
The part that frustrates me so much is that.
Thank you, Mickey. Thank you. Exactly what I was saying.
Yeah. Is that we allow ourselves to get so stuck in what should be, but we don't want to do the work to make what should be an actual possibility. You know, it's always somebody else's responsibility. It's always somebody else not doing what they're supposed to do. And I'm guilty of it myself. Okay. But that's not going to get us where we keep saying we want to go. And it's, I don't know, it's like when my children are sitting there trying to talk to me about whatever their plans are or whatever happened. And I'm like, well, what did you do?
Exactly.
What are your plans? How are you going to accomplish this? Right? It's all well and good to bellyache about what somebody else isn't doing, but what are you doing?
I had this conversation with my nephew who I want a scholarship to play basketball.
But you're always on the video game.
I haven't seen you practice once. I did. Okay, I haven't seen you practice twice. Take emotion out of it. Because that's already Republicans' MO, by the way. Emotions, angry, get you angry or have you afraid. That's it. That's their politics. That's their principle. That is their political stance. Make you scared or make you angry. And somehow, some way, that has permeated over to the Democratic Party. That you're so afraid to, and this is a deal. It's like not so afraid to do something. It's afraid to not do something. I've said that about the Democrats for a long time. You don't want to push the button because you're so afraid that if the Republicans get in charge, they're going to do the same thing.
They're going to hit me back.
Bruh, they're going to do it anyway.
Yeah,
they
that's their
told
nature.
you they're going to do it anyway.
Yeah, that's what I agree with you on that, because I was like, pack the courts.
But
and if the Republicans want to pack the courts, you come back and pack them some more.
So here's the thing with that. How do you do it?
Susan, we are actually on the same.
We are. We're just.
Well, we are. We're talking about the tactics of mostly at this point. But
by the way, let me stop you, Theus. Real quick. Have you noticed how we don't agree on something and we have yet to get personal? You notice how that works? You notice how we're not cussing each other out?
Well, first of all, I don't cuss. I church cuss. I just tell people have a blessed day.
You notice that we have a name called in any of those things? You notice how that works? Try to throw that into 2022. See how you can disagree and you don't step over that line? Just want to point that out real quick. Go ahead, Theo.
No, I think I lost my point. So I don't know.
Trust me, you'll pick up another one.
Yes, you will. I was gonna say he'll pick it back up in 5 minutes.
He'll be back.
Yeah, I don't know. What I was about to say.
But in any sense, because it is getting late now. We're
well, it's Sunday now, so hey.
Is it?
We're 3 and almost 3.5 hours into the show. So tomorrow's gonna be a year in review. We're just going to go through the ins and out of it. It may be dark. It may not. I do have some funny things to show because I'm sorry. If I'm going to show the Trump golden statue and just look at you people and go, what the hell?
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I am going to, sorry, I have to do it. I am going to show the golden Trump statue. I am going to show the people who are not cultists, but there's a Christmas tree full of Trump from the top to the bottom. I am going to show that. I'm showing all of this.
But please talk about the girl who super glued her hair so she would, you got to talk about her. You got to talk.
I ain't got nothing to say about a Gorilla Glue girl. Yeah. But one of the things I was going to say, because I wanted to end on this one little thing, because, I would like us to try to make sure that we are focusing on some of the things that did get accomplished. We know the list of things that didn't get accomplished. But the child tax credit that just expired, okay, that lifted 40-50% of poor children
out of
poverty. That's over now.
Yep, it's over.
So, but the Republicans weren't going to give that to you, and Manchin is what's stopping it from continuing.
No, Mickey, because you know how I feel.
No,
you know how I feel about what
because we are adults.
Is.
We are adults. This is an intelligent conversation. We don't have to insult you to get our point across, and oh my God, I can't stress this enough. You don't have to agree. You just don't.
Yeah, that would be boring.
Take what works for you and throw away the rest.
Exactly. It's just, oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But, so that was a big thing. The fact that the $1,400 stimulus check did come, which was not something that we would have gotten through another administration. The fact that countless immigrant children have been reunited with their families. That was not going to happen under the Republicans.
That started with the Republican president and thought that was a great freaking idea again. Just in case I need to put
with absolutely no system in place to put them back together. Right.
His whole thing was Obama built the cages, but you put people in them.
Yeah, and then because I'm not going to give Obama a pass on that, but I mean, it was still your policy to take this person who came with this child and not set up a system to
Where
put
they could be
that
together.
person back with that child, right? So,
And first of all, you
understand
thought imprisoning them was a good idea.
You know how sick you got to be that you was okay with separating, not only separating the kids from their parents, but giving the kids to another group of parents to raise.
Yeah, but we have a history of that because they did it with the indigenous people.
Yeah.
You
and they did it with our children too. So, but that's America. But we don't want to learn that because that would be CRT.
no. That's not CRT. That's history.
That too. But so that was something. That's another thing that to focus on. Afghanistan is over. For all the mess that comes with war, Afghanistan is over. There's a lot of families who have their mothers and their fathers and their brothers and their sisters back. Okay. There's also the infrastructure deal that did get passed. I don't know where the jobs are going to land, but I know jobs are going to land because they have to.
Yep.
So that's going to be real families who are able to earn incomes. The investment into solar and wind that's already occurring right now, that's creating more income for people that wasn't there before. So with all of the things that we have legitimate gripes.
Add one more thing, Theus.
What's up?
Add one more thing to it. Have you noticed that we're actually fighting to have equality? Have you noticed that the argument that they're having that people don't want to work, and we come to the realization that they just don't want to work for peanuts?
The resurgence of the labor.
Yeah, now
labor
that was good. The people quitting their jobs because they tired. That was the best part of 2021.
And that only could happen because
the pandemic.
Because the pandemic.
No, people got sick and tired.
The pandemic opened up a lot of people's eyes. Like, oh man, we are being screwed over.
But those people were only able to even exercise some of those options because of the assistance.
Yep.
If not for the expansion of unemployment, if not for the stimulus money, they'd still be in those same crappy jobs with no leverage. So all of this stuff is tied together. And I'm like, believe me, I am not a Democrat like that, okay? I vote black. Y'all don't all match my politics. That is all well and good. Where we overlap is where we can work together. My point is, for all the things that we know need to be done, don't lose sight of the things that did get done, because those are real people. Real people. Even if it's not you and it's not me, real people are eating right now, not losing their homes right now, have the ability to get their rent paid even though they haven't been paying their rent. That's real. The other party, yeah, you wouldn't have none of that.
The more, as much as we're complaining about what we didn't get, let's keep this in face value.
Oh, Marlon, one thing before you say that. If they don't get voting rights taken care of, I don't give a damn, no way. And the whole
I was gonna say,
but
voting rights is the most important thing.
At that point,
I don't care about the Build Back. You can build back better all you want. You better get voting rights. Period.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be
the most things that we're arguing about right now, which was just this should bring smile to your face. We're complaining about what we didn't get, and the other side is complaining more about what we did get.
Yep.
We're literally. I just read an article of a IHOP manager who's saying that they have to close his office, close the restaurant hours early because we paid people too much with the stimulus check and he can't find work, so we have to close the restaurant early.
The places that are closing,
we got the
most of the people
stimulus
who
check almost damn year a year
ago. Like,
so you seriously think $1,400? I got a newsflash for you. Do you know how stupid you look? And not because of what your comment was. Do you know how stupid you look that you actually thought $1,400 was going to carry a family for almost a year?
But that's what they sell. That's what they say about us.
And that's what they said.
Yeah, they just want government handout.
Do not look at what we didn't get. Concentrate more on what they're arguing that we did get. Concentrate more on what they're trying to take away from us, because they are. Do not even remotely think that this is over.
Yeah, it's
Voting
weird.
rights,
thing is
just
they better
voting rights
suspend
and abortion rights is a start. It is a heavy boulder rolling down a mountain. If it gets momentum, it's going to be really hard to stop.
Yep.
Oh boy, I wish I could agree. Yeah, I agree with it somewhat, but I'll just leave that where it is.
Well, Tracy, we've done a lot of talking, so if you want
Yep,
to close this out
it's
with your
nearly
point,
45 minutes to 3:30, and I am
I didn't even
so
talk
done.
about the man that married his own goddaughter. See, you could put that in there too.
But I tell you this, I will tell you this. Tomorrow, everybody, all people that's on here, tomorrow I will be on. Tomorrow is the last show of the year, so I don't want to. Do me a favor, don't text me next week and go, you doing the show? You doing the show? Because I'm going to text you back and go, anything else happen? No? Okay. See you in 2022. That is my way of saying you need to, hold on. I always got to do me again.
Nope, that's 100% true.
That's exactly what I'd be like. What about the other 50%? I always think that way too, Mickey.
It was
Don't,
50%,
the other 50%
has been lifted out of poverty
So we
compared
need
to
to lift the other
100%
50%.
that was in poverty.
We need to lift the other 50%, but you know what?
50% is better than 25%.
It's all bad math. You know, but
it was, because we also got to realize that the number that they're using for poverty is like really
yeah, because I'm like, have they ever heard of the working poor?
well, they're not even talking about the real all the people who really need to be tracked and helped, because nobody's asking them where they get these numbers from. We just take it as a given.
Mickey, do not.
Yeah, she do it, Mickey. Do it.
Theus is already yawning. I'm finna go. So,
My
ladies and
contacts
gentlemen,
are
boys and girls, children of all ages, non-conforming individuals, that is our show for tonight. I'm not going to ask Theus or Tracy what they're up to, because we got to get the heck up out of Dodge. I will see you tomorrow for the final show of 2021 of Saturday Night Vibes, which is tonight, this morning, and Radical Truth to Power later today. So until next time, I'll see you when I see you. Peace.